Welcome back to another episode of The Basement Boys.
The pod!
What about us? I'm telling you.
Episode 43. Wow, we are in the 40s now. Live. We're watching the Pacers and the OKC Thunder. This is game 3, correct, boys?
Yes, sir.
We might be watching a massacre here in about an hour.
Before I go any further, you got a job. 43. Who you got for us? You said that you were going to shock us.
Shout out to my boy Ink, the Troy Palamalu episode.
Oh.
The Palamalu.
One of the
Head and Shoulders episode.
The Head and Shoulders.
Head and Shoulders. We're looking for sponsorships. It's another one. We don't have a lot of hair on this podcast. But,
Come on, bro.
It's a couple of spots.
A couple.
It's a spot and a couple of spots
Knock
and
on
a
wood.
spot.
Hey, we're patches now. He's not patches.
Yeah. Even the beard, made a little bit of
No. Stop.
Okay.
But yeah, again, we're live. We're watching OKC versus the Pacers here.
Why are you putting our business out there? They didn't need to know we're watching it. Why do they need to know that?
Could be watching a documentary for all
Because when one of us jumps up like, oh my God, why that happened? They're gonna think something
We're
crazy.
excited for the pod.
Hold on. Is that seriously gonna happen though?
All I gotta say is, listen. At the end of the day, the series is 1-1 as we're filming.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
is there like electrifying plays that's gonna happen? I don't think so.
Game 1 buzzer beater. Yeah, that was pretty electrifying.
I mean, bad when buzzer beater game 1. We're gonna finish.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? But we got some good stuff. I'm sure we'll have some exciting things happen in the middle of this game, or it could be another snooze fest. But that's why this is a really interesting series.
We'll find something to argue about.
Unpredictable things happen. We have a lot of good things to talk about. We're going to talk about what's happened in this series so far. We're going to talk about whether or not these NBA finals are boring because there's no super teams or, big markets. We're going to do some redrafting of one of the years in the NBA.
One of the more underrated drafts in recent
memory.
In recent history.
We got some Kevin Durant topics.
Yes.
We got a few football topics, nothing too crazy. We're going to talk about ARod finally in the Steelers. Married 2 weeks. He's married, man. Congratulate ARod.
Congratulations, man. Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Come on.
He's gonna come on next week and say he's probably divorced.
That's not Jesus
just
Christ,
to get some
attention.
publicity. Yeah, honestly.
You know why he did it, right?
Why?
So he can get a second ring.
Oh, I like it. But and we got our games.
Yes.
Always got the games.
That's my favorite part of the pod,
favorite part of
literally.
But let's get into it, boys. Let's have a fun episode as always. And again, history can happen on the screen right in front of us.
Good.
Who knows? Who knows? Honestly, who knows? Let's get right into it. Let's get it. Let's get right into it. What are we going to talk about, boys? It's the NBA Finals, the biggest stage of them all. And
the grandest stage of them all.
We ain't talking about WrestleMania. Baby.
No, we are not. Good job. Good
Talking about something a lot bigger, a lot more oomph.
Hey, listen, some WrestleManias.
Bigger.
You guys just don't understand what bigger means, man. You guys. Doesn't matter. Welcome,
all right,
welcome to the basement, boys. WrestleMania is as big as the NBA Finals. Good job, guys.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly.
Hey, it depends on which WrestleMania you talking about, my boy.
Honestly, bro.
It depends.
No, I'm being that serious, honestly.
I know you are. That's the sad part.
What's the average viewership? I mean, obviously.
I'm just talking about on impact of sports and impact of
Okay,
everything that comes out of it, man.
Okay, correct it. If you talk about viewership,
wait, what is viewership?
WrestleMania blows it out the water.
Does it though?
I've never looked at metrics. I don't know.
Yeah.
This one's averaging 9 million viewers.
But
finals.
I mean, in defense,
Averaging 9 million.
WrestleMania is it's 2 nights now, but it's one.
Yeah.
So we're not sitting here trying to watch 7 games over a time span. Oh wow!
Anyways,
Haliburton can't score. Anyways, NBA Finals. As we are watching Game 3 right now, people.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the TV's right here in front of us. But so as we speak, it is 1-1. What do you got? What do you got, Swede?
1.1 billion views across the weekend for WrestleMania 41.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Something tells me that's cap.
It's okay. Move on, man. Oh, you're not gonna convince him. Move on.
So WrestleMania is as big as the World Cup. The World Cup didn't have 1 billion viewers, bro. It's as big as the World Cup.
I mean, it was over the weekend. What do you want me to tell? How's it kept? It's on Google.
Anyways,
It might be because over
Finals.
2 days, I guess. Anyways, we are 1-1. And
Yes,
many
sir.
people's many people's shocked because again, a lot of people didn't give the Pacers a chance. I'm not gonna lie to you, they did what they were supposed to do and they stole a game on the road.
they sure did.
Say whatever you want, and however they did it, even though some people could say they got lucky. They stole a game on the road, and it's 1-1. I don't know if you guys have much takeaways about this series so far, but what do you guys got for me?
I'm just trying to enjoy these finals, man. I have no takeaways, honestly. No takeaways. Pacers are playing well. Thunder are playing even better. Nobody thought this was going to be 1-1 going into Indiana. I'm just trying to enjoy these finals, man. I got nothing.
I think just OKC's a better team, man. They're a better ball club, top to bottom. Better players up top, more well-rounded, better defensively. What the Pacers do best, which is play with pace. OKC does that better than they do. So, yeah, man. This is not much. Not much to take away when Timo has only led for 0.3 seconds in 2 games. So.
0.3 seconds.
Not much to take
they
away.
have not. It's crazy when watching this series. It's just like they can't. Like the Pacers can't score against them. They can't score in the half court. Like I actually feel bad, and not even like they can't even score in the full. Like even on the fast break or when they're pushing the pace. Like I gotta say, man, OKC's defense. I mean, this isn't like a hot take. It's unbelievable to watch how great their defense is. Look at this. Chet's already having a great game 3 here. He has 10 points, right? So, you got to realize, too, in game 1, that was most of everybody's first game in the playoff, except for like a guy like Siakam who's been there before. So, yeah, I mean, OKC came out a little – they were blowing them out for most of the game.
Yeah.
But – it was their first game, and I don't care what anybody says. They have nerves in that first game. So it was kind of crazy. I got to say, though, it just doesn't look like the Pacers belong on this stage to me.
I mean...
And I hate to be that guy.
I mean, after all this, you cannot say that anymore, man.
I hate to be that guy, but like...
And then don't be that guy, because after all this, during this playoff run, they deserve to be in here, brother.
Hey, do you get what I'm saying a little bit?
What
I mean, I don't... Not that they don't deserve.
I think they're an NBA Finals team. I just think OKC is a lot better than them.
1,000%.
I don't say they don't deserve it because they did what they had to do to get here. But are they a bona fide NBA Finals team?
No, because
I'm asking you.
No. I mean, yeah, they are, because look what they're doing. They're not. I mean, they're squeezing in, but they're squeezing in fashion. It's not like they're getting lucky. They're playing teams hard, man.
Can I ask you a question?
And I understand where you're coming from. You just like seeing superstars.
No,
in
this
the
has
NBA
nothing to do
finals.
with the superstars or nothing. Like I'm asking, but doesn't talk about the team.
I like it too, but seeing how these finals are going, I don't mind not seeing it like that.
Can I ask you guys a question?
What's up?
Last year,
Yeah.
when we first did the Basement Boys, we were in your actual basement.
Yes.
On a freaking Logitech webcam.
Yeah.
Yep. We were talking about the Boston Celtics.
Yes.
You remember what we were saying about the Boston Celtics run? It was a dominant run. They think they lost 2 games all last playoff.
Something like that, yeah.
But do you remember what we were saying about them?
Dynasty this and dynasty that. And
No,
They're not a finals team?
We were talking about the path there. And we were talking about
How they got there.
how they got there and how every team that they played
We're injured.
were injured. I'm a believer that you play who's in front of you and you got to take business because there's a lot of teams that sometimes don't take care of business and they still lose to the injured team. But let's talk about the path for the Pacers real quick. Let's just real talk. We got a podcast here. We get to talk whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
For as long as we want to talk about.
Yeah, I want to be here for 3 hours. Ace is probably going to be like, not 3 hours.
He shed himself.
Ace is like, what are you talking
We're
about?
not staying here for 3 hours, man.
Round 1, they play Giannis.
Okay.
I think Dame Lillard tore his Achilles in that series.
He sure did.
Round 2, they played Cleveland.
Okay.
For more than 50% of that series, their 2 best players were injured.
They sure
Okay.
were.
Round 3, they played the Knicks. I think that we all understand. Going into the playoffs, what did we say about the Knicks?
They couldn't be good teams. Was
They
the knock
couldn't
on
be-
them.
They beat Boston, right? But listen, every year is a new year. Boston didn't look like Boston, and they beat. Like, I'm not sitting here and saying that, oh my God, the Pacers overcame this feat because they beat the New York Knicks. I think we all think that the Knicks as a team they're a good team, but they didn't beat no world beaters in the Knicks. So I think it's fair that if we said that about the Boston Celtics last year, then what should we say about the Pacers this year?
We set it up until the point that they won the championship. Because once they won the championship and they won it in 5 last year,
Then we shut our mouths.
then we stopped
But
saying
now the Pacers can't hold the lead. They can't hold a lead in the series. We're in the middle of game 3 right now. They don't have a
I
lead.
know, but it's 1-1.
Yeah, but they couldn't hold a lead in any of the series.
But it's 1-1 though. Also, it is 1-1.
They could barely hold a
At the
lead
same
in
time.
any of the series, exactly. And all the teams that they beat, Hakeem, they're probably like the 5th best team in the Eastern Conference Finals. In the Eastern Conference, like in the East, they're the 5th.
Who, the Pacers?
4th.
The Pacers?
Yeah.
The Pacers are the best team in the East.
Now,
Yeah,
but
we
going
got the
into
best team out of the
into
East.
these playoffs,
Uh-huh.
they were the 4th or 5th.
But here, my issue is, let me tell you what my issue is.
I'm not arguing, by the way.
I know.
I'm just like
They
real
beat,
talk. I'm just
they
talking.
beat Milwaukee in how many games? Was it 5?
They beat them in 5.
And then they beat Cleveland in how many games?
5.
5 or
And then
6.
they beat New York in how many games?
7.
No.
6.
6.
Beat them in 6.
Real talk.
And it was supposed to be 5, but it
Yeah.
was a hard fought effort. They pushed it another game. They lost in
Yes.
6.
Yes.
They're going through the East. They went through the. Like, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, there was injury-prone teams. We saw Cleveland for like a half be fully healthy, and they were down 50 by the time we got to
It's
halftime.
different.
I know it's one game, but if you're good enough to go up 50 on a team at half, odds are you're probably good enough to win that series.
And they're all
You
and
probably
all
gonna
those
know.
teams that they beat, their best players were playing.
100%.
Not their second best, their best players.
Question: Dallas Mavericks of last year
Mhm.
versus this Indiana Pacers team. Who wins that series?
I actually do not know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. Because something we sneeze at I mean, we don't, but something that some people sneeze at for this Indiana team is they are solid defensively.
very
They're
solid.
solid defensively. So, like, I don't. If you're thinking, oh, we're gonna lean, oh, Luka would beat this team. No, it's not a guaranteed fact that he would have beat this team last year. I mean, here's something I found interesting. I went back and looked. Regular season this year, they won 50 games, by the way, 52 games or
They're a
whatever.
good
it was.
team.
Indiana. It's not like they're a bad
They only
team.
lost. They only lost like 1 or 2 games in all of March. I think. Somehow.
Yeah, they have one of the best records since
They were
March.
cooking. They started off very slow.
Regular season, they were 6th in wins. This is league wide. 7th in points, 3rd in field goal percentage, 3rd in assists, 3rd in turnovers, fewest turnovers. Top 10 in blocks and steals, top 7 in pace.
Wow.
In the playoffs, they're 3rd in points per game, 1st in field goal percentage, 1st in 3-point percentage, 1st in assists per game, 7th in turnovers per game.
Really?
They have an all-star and an all-NBA player. They're healthy, well-coached, disciplined. They take care of the ball. They're efficient, and they play defense.
Yeah, that's a
It's
finals
an NBA
team.
Finals team.
That's an NBA finals team.
It ain't the finals teams we got accustomed to with LeBron fucking James, but it's an NBA Finals team.
So
to
let's
me.
go back. So you think that they're comparable to that Dallas Mavericks team last year?
Yeah, that's
Okay. So who was in
yeah.
the
they're
finals?
closer to that than they are the Boston of last year.
Okay. The team before that. Who was in the finals before that? Hey, do you
Heat,
agree
Heat.
with it?
Heat in Denver.
So I mean, yeah, this team is.
Yeah,
What are they though? Because I mean, that Heat
are
team.
they what?
I mean, they're comparable to that Heat team, right?
I know, but
comparable to
I
that
think
team.
this Indiana team is slightly better than that Miami Heat team. Though. That's what I think. And they have the privilege of we kind of forget what their path was. 3 years ago now. Who did Miami? I think they beat Boston. They beat them in
They
7.
beat the same teams basically that they beat,
They
but
beat
all of
Boston
them
in
hurt.
7, but like the ones before that, they beat
Giannis-
Milwaukee and Giannis was hurt.
Giannis was hurt.
So I was like, sometimes you
They
get
beat
the
Philly.
privilege of
Embiid was hurt.
you get the privilege of like, oh, who did you really beat?
Is this
but it
just
goes
normal
away.
now?
Of people being hurt.
Is it just normal now that there's always that obvious team in each conference that makes it? This year, the East was different because I think everybody expected Boston to be Boston or Cleveland. I'm gonna give Cleveland the pass that they were hurt, and maybe they're like the Thunder. Maybe they need one more year. Just like real talk, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
I don't think so because I don't think there's a Shea on that team that, I know I'm going to get a bona fide 32.
But they're a very talented squad. though.
Yes.
They're
they
a
are.
very talented squad, and maybe they are just like 1 year away. And even with Boston, Porzingis was hurt. That
Bingus.
that changes a
Zingers.
lot, but there's always that top dog. Like I think everybody, for the most part, going into the year, when it came to the West, and even when we talked going through the year, it's OKC number 1 and who's number 2. Because like every week we would come here, and we're Laker fans, so we're a little biased. But every week you go watch TV, you go talk to people, it was always who's the second best team. There was like 10 second best teams in the West.
But it wasn't bona fide that OKC was the best team though going on the playoffs. If you remember, We came on here and said, I
Boston.
don't know if we're bought into OKC. I don't know if we're bought into this and that. And we started bringing up teams. And you could say it was fandom. But, I mean, we had logic behind why we thought the Lakers, for example, could outplay them in the playoff series.
Yep.
We had reason to believe,
think-
for pause.
I think general.
remember.
I think general consensus. And I'm not even talking about just
On
general.
our pod, it was not consensus.
I think general consensus. No, not with the group.
Nationwide.
Nationwide, I think general consensus was that
The Vegas consensus.
yeah, that OKC was the best team. I think people were just more worried about their youth.
Yeah.
That didn't show up in here. I mean, the biggest trouble they had was against Denver, and that was because that was probably the best player they played through their route, Joker.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like their Western Conference Finals because they mopped the floor of Memphis and they mopped the floor of the Wolves.
Yep.
Right? So maybe it was a bad matchup for them. Who knows, right? And that went to
I mean,
7.
they played all-time great.
You know what I mean? Like
Right,
that's
he's
going to
gonna
happen,
win some games.
right?
It's just a very well built team.
Yes, it is. I told you, it's very, like, this Oklahoma City Thunder team of this year is very eerily similar. Not as good, but very eerily similar to how the Bulls were built in the 90s.
You probably won't like me for
got
this.
one guard, a wing, dominant wing. They have Chet, who reminds me a lot of Tony Kukoc. They have guys like Isaiah Hartenstein, who reminds me of guys like Luke Longley. They have their Scottie Pippen type, and Jalen Williams was a two-way player, you know, a good facilitator, a really good defender,
They have their Jordan.
a good scorer. They have their 30-point scorer, Michael Jordan. They're very well built. Like, that's what they remind me of. That's who they resemble a lot of. So, to me, I think, and you're right. They're very well built.
Yeah.
They're very, very well built, bro, top to bottom.
You probably will disagree with me on this one, but I'm not bought on them being repeat. They got to win this series first, but they're not guaranteed like repeat champions for me, even if they win this year. Because how long has it been since there was a repeat champion?
No team is
27.
ever a guaranteed repeat. But, I mean, I will not be betting against them. Barring some crazy trade happening in the offseason, I will not be betting against them next year. I won't be taking the field next year. I'll be taking
Yes.
them over the field. So
Absolutely.
Because, you know, we sat here all last year, all summer, and we said that about Boston. And I get it's different. But, I mean, they both, when you kind of look at it, are kind of, they both have their top dogs. One guy's Jason Tatum, one guy's SGA, and they both have their supporting cast. I mean, someone had argued going into the year that Boston Celtics had a better supporting cast, right?
I guarantee you,
Yeah, but the
we're going to
difference
say the
with-
same thing.
the difference between Shea and Tatum is the difference between Kobe Bryant and Carmelo Anthony.
We're going to say the same exact thing in the summer about the Thunder.
No, I know.
The same
Let that
exact thing.
sink in for a second.
I know.
I just for
Very
me,
great analogy.
what I don't
Great analogy.
What I don't like though is like you see what the Knicks did. They built their team specifically to beat one team,
And they beat them.
And they beat them, but you never build your team to specifically beat one team because they ran into the team that nobody thought the next round came and they mopped the floor of them 6. It was really 5 at the end of the day. Let's just be real.
I mean, the Pacers didn't even think they're going to be there, man.
Maybe
And they were, I still, to this day, I will die on this hill.
Me too.
And they beat a more talented team in New York
Yes.
than themselves. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
New York is more talented,
yeah,
obviously.
I mean, if we just started the year off and you looked at them on paper and looked at the two teams, you're like, come on, bro, get this shit
Talent-
on. I'm
Honestly,
taking the New York
talent
squad,
and
bro.
results
Like,
are different. That's what's the great
they're
thing
very
about
different.
that. Yeah.
They're very different. And, you know, this is a Hall of Fame head coach now. We got to tip our hat. Rick Carlisle. So, I mean,
Hell,
That
I
is what
think
it
he
is.
was probably Hall of Fame before, man.
Yeah, he was.
he was. I mean, he has a championship, but
Yeah.
now this is 2 finals
Yeah.
runs, though.
Yeah.
And a deep East Conference.
100%.
Last year, exactly. Yeah, you're right.
100%.
So, I mean, like, that's the problem with this Indiana team is I could say that, but they were in the East Conference Finals last year.
I'm actually really happy that you brought up Rick Carlisle.
Mhm.
More teams need to build their supporting cast and their teams around their best player, like the Indiana Pacers are doing for Haliburton and running a system around Haliburton. Let me explain what I mean. Outside of the bona fide, like top 5 best players in the league that you could run any system around, they're going to do great no matter what. And whatever players you put around them, for the most part, they're going to find success, especially like the system that you run. But the reality is not every team can have a top 5 player on their team. There's only 5 of them. There's only 6 of, there's only 6
Yeah.
bona fide great players in the league, right? And you can argue it, but, most guys, you know what I mean? More teams need to build the system around their best player, But what happens now in the NBA is most coaches sometimes have pride of just trying to put a system. It doesn't matter. They don't look at what they have on the court, and they just put out a system, even if it doesn't fit their players. More teams need to run like the Pacers are, because the reality is 85% of the league, their best player is more like Haliburton than it is around Giannis, Joker, SGA, Luka, Tatum, whoever it is, right? The reality is you have a guy who, coming into the year, nobody here, and you're lying, thought he was a top 20 player in this league.
Nope. But he's single-handedly showing you why you don't need a superstar on your team to make the NBA Finals.
True. But for example, what if Rick Carlisle, because he's an old school coach, and this guy's been around. I think people forget Rick Carlisle coached the Pacers before. This is not his first stint. I believe if I'm not mistaken. It's not his first stint with the Pacers. What if old school Carlisle said, "Nah, I want to run a slow team. I want to run a half court type of model."
They wouldn't be here.
They wouldn't get out the first round.
Absolutely.
Because Haliburton's not the greatest half court player in the world.
Nope.
So what does he do? He runs a run and gun.
Can I play devil's advocate for a second, though? I don't think he built the system around Tyrese.
Around Haliburton?
I think he built the system, and Tyrese was the perfect cog for it. That's what I think he did. I think he looked at his roster and said, "This is how we're gonna play." I don't think because if I'm projecting here, I don't know, but I don't think Carlisle thinks Tyrese is his world beater. I mean, he's been around the game long enough and coached great players to understand, like, Tyrese probably ain't Dirk Nowitzki. You know what I mean? And he's probably looked at it and said, "You know what? With the guys that I have, we're gonna run a fast-paced offense." I don't think he looked at Tyrese and said, "We're gonna build around Tyrese." I don't think he's that guy. I could be wrong, but you're right. And in total rosters, yes, teams do not do that nearly enough.
Like, they don't build around the strength of their best player.
The OKC Thunder definitely do.
They definitely do.
Absolutely.
They run a offense around SGA.
Yes.
Think about what, like, and I don't want to bring up the best players in the league because I think that you could run anything with SGA. He'll make it work.
Yeah.
You could run anything around Joker or Giannis or Luka, right? But think about a guy like
Brunson.
Think about a guy like Brunson, and you told Brunson, "I want you to run. I want you to play more off ball." That's not what Brunson is. We know what Brunson is. Brunson is a pick and roll player,
Ball dominant player.
ball dominant isolation player,
Yes.
and it hurts him.
And it hurts his team.
But what if they tried something different that doesn't fit around his skill set?
And they wouldn't be in the NBA playoffs.
The problem is that team actually needs to revamp their offense, bro. This is bad.
100%.
It's bad.
What if like we've watched some players drastically go back, like a guy like Devin Booker playing out of position. They try to play him like a point guard. He's clearly a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Right? But you got a guy like, Bud Budenholzer that said, "No, you know what? I want you to be more of a playmaker."
That's GM's fault again, though.
Yep.
Roster build.
Yep.
It's just they got two $50 million shooting guards.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So that's just more teams. You don't need a superstar, but you better put the right system and right players around Haliburton.
Yeah. 1,000%.
Yeah.
That goes GM and coach, though. It goes hand in hand.
100%.
Goes hand in hand.
We'll stick on the NBA Finals for a second, boys.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys believe with the NBA Finals that there needs to be a big market for it to be entertaining?
I don't believe. Okay, so I think I speak for myself and most Americans when we say, and most people worldwide, that I could give a shit less what city and what market is playing in the NBA Finals. I just want to see the best players. I just want to see Giannis. I want to see Joker. I want to see Luka. I want to see SGA. I want to see Jason Tatum. I want to see those guys in the NBA Finals. That's what I want to see. To be honest with you, I don't want to see Tyrese. I don't care that it's Indiana. Because if this was Giannis instead of Tyrese, I wouldn't give a shit if it's Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And just real quick, pull this up here for you guys because I think you guys will think this is interesting. So these are the most viewed NBA Finals from 2000, the year 2000. So this century, 25 years. In order. I'll go the first 10. Cavs Warriors 17, Cavs Warriors 16, Cavs Warriors 15, Lakers Sixers in 01, Lakers Celtics in 2010, Lakers Pistons in 04, Cavs Warriors in 18, Heat Spurs in 13, Lakers versus Pacers in 2000. Do you find a common theme?
Yes.
There's always a small market team in the NBA Finals.
The best players.
But it's the best players. The vice versa, some of the lowest.
I bet you I already know what the lowest one is.
Celtics Warriors.
2024 and
Two
2020.
pretty big market teams. Not huge, but they're pretty big market teams. Not watched. Heat Nuggets.
Yep.
Celtics Mavericks. Huge markets. Dallas is one of the biggest markets in the US. Nobody watched it. Spurs Nets. Spurs Cavs. This Thunder Pacers. And the only thing that was watched less than this is the bubble Heat and Lakers. And that was because it was in the bubble.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
So this is by far, to Americans, the most boring finals that we've had so far in 25 years. But it ain't because it's Indiana to me. And it ain't because it's OKC.
It's because of the
It's
players.
because of the players.
Because I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Cleveland is a very small market.
Yeah.
And Golden State isn't a small market, but it's not a huge market either. It's a pretty good-sized market.
Because I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, I love this Pacers team. I really, really do. Like, they're very, very entertaining. But it doesn't really move me. And SGA, as great as he is, I think he's one of the better guards we've ever watched ever. Like, let's just be real. But he lacks aura, you know? And it's, you know, maybe we got to see him more, but it's just not me. I mean, America isn't watching this. Now, I think it's less about OKC than it is about...
It's about Indiana.
It's about Indiana.
And Tyrese
Nobody thinks that Indiana has a freaking chance in this finals, so nobody's really tuning it. Like, nobody's going to move their schedule around to watch, you know, the Indiana versus the Thunder. That's really what it comes down to. But no,
That's all it is.
The superstars 100% need to be... They need to be in the NBA Finals.
The casual NBA fan 10 years ago, if you would have talked to him about Kyrie Irving, it was a recognizable face and name to him.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he was a very casual sports fan. He would know who you're talking about. A lot of casual sports fans today, just casual ones, if I sit down and try to talk about Chet Holmgren, they're not going to know who that is.
Right.
They probably never even heard of the name Pascal Siakam. They've probably never even heard of the name before. So
You're the most normal basketball fan I know. Me and him, we're over talkers. We're nerds.
we're analyzers more
We're
than
analyzers.
fans
We think
sometimes.
we know everything, and we don't know that.
Oh, we know a lot, but it's okay.
But you know what
Neither
I
here
mean.
nor
For the most, you're the casual, normal basketball fan. If you didn't have a podcast and you really wanted to know what you're talking about, were you really getting up for the series? Like, just like real talk. Were you getting up for it?
I've always said about like the young teams, like we're not gonna get those Cavs, Warriors, Lakers. Like we're not gonna get those no more. It's a young NBA. We're gonna see some new guys. You were saying this, and you kept on saying we're not gonna see back to back final appearances by these teams. We're gonna get some new faces. I like this.
New faces.
Yes,
but were you expecting Haliburton to be
I
the new
was not
face?
expecting Haliburton. No,
Guys, Haliburton is not the new face.
No.
He's not the face.
He's not the new
Guys.
face. I understand, but he's
Man,
never been
guys,
to an NBA
I'm
final.
just going to say something
This
right now.
was on-
Haliburton
this
ain't a
was on-
top 10 player. As a player, he ain't a top 10 player.
He,
this
as a
league.
player, he might not be top 20.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro.
We're talking about as a not impact is different on a basketball game. His impact is
Calm down.
high.
Calm
But
down.
how did he flip the
I don't
switch
know.
on Haliburton? He
Just
went
calm
from his
down.
biggest defender to his biggest hater
Calm
all
down,
of a sudden.
Because somebody
Jesus.
could be underrated.
I mean, but
We
he's
don't know how
pro-
to act.
We don't know how to act.
We don't know how to act.
We live in the moment so much.
No. And listen, I don't want to. Oh,
Yeah, but he's proving your point wrong.
Before people say anything,
He's proving your point wrong.
what is he?
No,
proving?
he's
about
not.
being-
See, this is the
about-
problem with you two, is you guys are always on two complete extremes. To you, he's a superstar. To him, he's a bum.
No,
Guys,
I don't think he's a bum.
Obviously, you don't think he's a bum. I'm saying, like, that's, you guys are too extreme sometimes, like, where he can never be top 10 now, and to you, he's already a superstar. Guys, he's probably somewhere in the middle. Leave some room for
Yeah.
either way. Leave
New
some room for either
faces
way.
is great. I'm okay with new faces, but Haliburton wasn't the new face. We're not talking about face of the NBA.
He's a new face.
No, the new face I would have wanted had seen against SGA would have been a guy like Jason Tatum or a guy like a team like the
Yeah, but Jason Tatum was already in the finals. He's been in the
But
Eastern
that's a
Conference
guy that I
Finals
would rather
for-
see.
I understand that.
I would much rather see that.
He is a new face in the finals. Half of these players are new faces in the finals, and I enjoy this.
What I would love to see for this league, and this is never gonna happen. It's a fucking pipe dream. But what I would be crazy to me is if someone like Ant ended up in New York City and him and Shea ran up against each other 3-4 NBA finals.
Yes.
And they split 1 or even 3-1, bro. I don't care what the split is.
Right.
That's the best thing that could happen for the NBA. There's a rivalry. It's two faces. It's two polar opposite cities. You got the Boston, LA thing where it's like rule. It's not rule city, but Oklahoma City ain't Manhattan.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like those. That's the best thing that would happen in the NBA. But I mean,
We can't.
It
do
has
that.
guys, we've had this transition period before. I want to make sure we're aware of that. Like after Mike
course.
retired,
It was
there
a
was a
struggle
few years there where it's like, who is that next guy?
until the
Like,
Lakers took it over.
until the Lakers. But even when the Lakers took it over, like Shaq was, the biggest guy in LA, and like, but nobody ever thought like Shaq was like the face of the league, even though he was by far the best player. It wasn't until Kobe started scoring 81 and averaging 35, and you're like, oh wow. And then this kid from Cleveland, bro, he's taking his team to the NBA
'Cause I don't believe
Finals, and
that's
who
him
the hell
done-
is this guy? And he looks like Magic, and he plays like Mike. Like, who is this guy? Like, that's. So we might be in that transition period, bro, because LeBron and
Oh, Hetty, we're definitely in the transition.
LeBron,
period.
Steph, and KD hurt the league though.
Why?
With their longevity, they hurt the league
Why?
because we're not giving up the reins of them being the face of the player. Because as long as they play basketball, seats are gonna go to where those guys play. Not ruined it as far as like, oh, they did something bad, but I'm saying indirectly,
Can I say
they
something?
kind of fucked NBA fans
They sure
they
did.
do,
a little bit.
They
but
sure
it's
did.
because of their greatness. I'm gonna be a little bit of a nerd. It's kind of like WWE, right? Right now, every week they could throw out somebody new out there. But right now, if I told you The Rock was gonna be on Friday Night SmackDown, you're gonna watch that?
I'm watching that.
Yeah, it's gonna be the highest viewed
I get it.
freaking
I
Friday
understand.
Night
I get it.
SmackDown of this year.
And he won't be the best wrestler.
He won't.
And he
which
won't
is-
be the best wrestler. Or if they said Stone Cold was going to be on there, hell, man, if they would have said it when Hulk Hogan wasn't hated. But why, though? Because there's nobody that could grab a mic like The Rock and talk and grab your attention.
because it's a transition.
And it ain't nostalgia.
Yes.
It's a transition.
And it ain't
It's a
nostalgia.
transition.
That's all it
because-
is, brother.
yeah.
Because in 10, 15 years, we're not gonna remember The Rock.
Because for the first few months of John Cena's career, they didn't even put a mic in front of his face because
Exactly.
they thought he couldn't talk on the mic.
Exactly.
What I mean by that is because LeBron,
Uh-huh.
yeah, man, he deserved that.
it's-
And
it's
it's not
not-
like
it's
we're
not that
holding
at
on
all.
to something.
I'm not saying they did something wrong.
I know
we
it's
are holding.
indirectly.
But we are holding on. Because if I ask most NBA fans, would you rather see this or would you rather see LA and in Indiana? They would have said LA and Indiana.
Fuck yeah.
But even though this Indiana team would wipe the floor with this
Yeah.
Lakers team.
Yeah.
And OKC deserved to be there. And we deserve to start looking at Shea,
Yes.
who's probably
It's not fair to them.
the beginning of his generational
Exactly.
run now.
Yes, sir.
Like, this is probably the beginning of
But-
it. So,
Absolutely.
But if SGA
Uh-huh.
is that guy and he goes to another championship this year, and let's just say let's just say in a 5-year span, he goes to 2 or 3,
and he wins 2 or 3.
and then he'll be that guy.
Are you sure?
And then I won't let go.
Are you sure?
I promise you I won't.
Are
what,
you sure?
What am I going to say?
Because Jason
what if-
Tatum has been to 2 NBA Finals and has won 1, and we come back the
Exactly.
next year and we say, who the hell is
Because
Jason
the
Tatum?
difference is we doubt Jason Tatum as a player.
Yes.
We doubt if he's the best guy in his team, and he's the best player in the team, but he doesn't perform like it. Man, SGA is averaging 34 points in the
Yes,
finals, and guess what he'll
1000%.
do next year?
1000%.
So if a guy's averaging 34 points,
yes.
love and hate is the same thing. It's all the same attention.
If you win an NBA championship today, next year you walked in, you said, who do you want in the NBA Finals? Most NBA fans would be the Lakers. Say the Lakers.
Yeah, 100%. To go back to the original
Why,
question,
Yeah,
why?
but I
Because
believe
it's just
that's a big market, though.
it's just
That is a big
It's
market
just the
for
market thing. It's
The
the market.
Is it a market thing?
The Lakers,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Is it a market thing?
The Lakers
If
is
Steph-
the
If Stephen Curry played in Washington, D.C. is a huge market. If Stephen Curry played in Charlotte,
Yeah.
in his hometown,
Okay. Are they winning?
and they're really good,
Okay. They're
and the
winning?
Lakers are really good,
Okay.
and you ask NBA fans, which matchup do you want to see
Okay.
next year? They would tell you Charlotte and LA. They would tell you Steph and LeBron again.
Yeah,
Just how they're wired, bro.
it's players.
How they're wired. And
But
we
that's
won't,
why
and it won't be fair. You could say fair all you want.
it's not fair to them.
It's sports.
It
It
is
ain't no
fair, I know.
fair. You
I
got to
know.
take what you get.
I
You got to
understand.
take it yourself, bro. But
It's just they
it
can't
won't
control it.
be like we as fans, especially our age, we're like holding on to something here, but we want to reach for the next thing, but we don't want to let go of this. So it's like,
I
guys, LeBron,
argue-
Steph, and Durant
I'm not-
probably
I'm not
aren't
doing
top
that.
10 players.
I
Exactly.
argue.
You know what I mean?
I
I'm not
argue,
doing that, though.
I argue we're holding on to something because there's something. It's the thing that we're trying to reach for. It's not grabbing hold yet.
But that's
Enough.
what the '90s said about these guys.
Exactly.
And we're doing the same thing that people did in the past.
No.
Yes,
we're
yes,
not.
yes,
Hakeem,
yes.
yeah, we
Hold
are.
on, hold on,
You are.
I'm not going
It's a transition.
It's the same thing people were
It's
doing.
just
back
a
in the day.
transition.
Who should be grabbing our attention this much?
Guys, we're 30.
No, I'm
30,
asking you guys.
you know
Who
what I
should be
mean?
grabbing our attention that much for us to be like, you know,
Maybe the guy who's on a scoring tear that Kobe Bryant never been on.
Shea.
You ever think of that?
Well, honestly.
Maybe the guy that's averaging 30 a game for 3 straight years on 50% field goal
What the
percentage.
hell?
The guy
the
who's about to win the
difference,
NBA
but Eddie, the
championship.
difference is that no, he would definitely be something to grab on if he won multiple times. Like nobody came right off the bat and just went and grabbed.
Why did
Kobe.
we grab on LeBron?
Because LeBron came in with hype, so it's
Okay.
different. You know, people were preying on his downfall.
Okay.
People wanted to see him fail, so
Okay.
it was easier to grab on him because it didn't matter
So
if he
why
won
did
or
we grab
not.
on AI?
I don't know. I wasn't around to grab on AR or not.
AI. He never won anything. Why did we grab on? So,
I didn't.
I mean, you didn't because you were 5 years old. But
Yeah.
people who
I
were
can't.
on that
I
time,
can't
they
tell
held
you.
on to AI.
I can't tell you why.
AI was the face of the NBA.
But AI was because AI was like the culture. He was cool.
But what do you mean cool?
He
It's
was
not
like-
a tangible
He
thing.
was,
bro.
he was the first guy to wear like the sleeves and the tattoos
Yes.
and the dressing.
But what do kids see? How do kids see Shea? Do they think he's
Yeah.
cool?
No, they don't see him like that. That's the problem.
I don't. How do you know that? I don't talk to 15-year-olds on a
because
day-to-day
you want to know
basis.
why? My nephew, he watches
But your
basketball.
nephew ain't the U.S.
I
I'm
know,
talking about
but
the
I-
average 15-year-old. I don't know how they look at Shea.
They look at.
I don't know how they
my
look at
bet
him.
is they look at him as this really serious guy. He's really fucking good. But most of this younger generation, they probably don't like the media isn't throwing out SGA in your face. For God's sakes, the guy just averaged 30 points 3 straight years, and nobody, including us, and we've talked about the face of the league more than anybody else, has ever brought up his name. Why? It ain't because he plays in OKC, guys. Why?
Some of it is OKC.
But why though?
A little bit of it is
Why
OKC.
is it though?
Hakeem, I guarantee you.
A little bit.
Guarantee you, he's in 3-4 years. We're gonna talk about him like how we used to talk about Durant.
What do you mean?
How we used to talk about Kevin Durant, of how good he is, and how at one point,
Yeah.
quote me, I'm quoting you, that you called him the best player in the world at one point.
No, I think he's the best player in the NBA right now.
SG,
I
Kevin
think
Durant,
so. Talking about
SGA, yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna talk. It's just a transition.
Yeah.
We're so used to LeBron, Steph, Kobe, Durant, all these good
We're
players.
holding on to him.
We are. I'm not doing. I let go. I'm enjoying this new. What's it called? These young players.
This NBA Finals is boring though.
It's boring. I understand it's boring. I get it. I understand. But like,
I
I'm
think
enjoying
that,
it.
I think that it's.
But
I
it's
don't.
boring not because of Indiana's fault.
I don't
I
disagree
understand.
with you guys about we're holding on to something that's great, but everybody lets go of something great eventually when there's something to move on. And man, I promise you, man, if SGA starts winning a bunch of championships, people will be in for the run, whether you hate him or you don't.
That's the transition.
Man,
though.
Hakeem,
Yep, that's the
LeBron.
transition.
LeBron didn't win his first championship till he was 27.
But again, though, it was about LeBron came in as the next Michael Jordan,
I
so
understand.
people
Okay.
watched. Why do people watch LeBron?
Okay.
Because they love to hate him. I watched every single LeBron game because I wanted him to fail.
Right.
Real talk, I'm neither a big fan of SGA
Yeah.
and I'm neither a hater of SGA.
Right.
You won't be though.
I'm not.
You won't be to anyone anymore because you're 30.
No,
This is-
I'm a Lakers fan, so it's
Exactly.
different.
But this
You
is
have
the. But
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
wow, we're just gonna get deep here on the pod.
It's
We're in something we have to understand and accept too. We're getting to the age now where you don't have a favorite athlete.
No, I have favorite athletes.
You have athletes. You don't have a guy where you're like, oh, every time he's on, like I'm gonna defend him to the brink, and he's the best thing I've ever seen since sliced bread. You're more analytical now. You're more
Yeah.
contextual now. You're more, you're older. You're more mature. You don't buy these guys jerseys anymore and their shoes, and
No.
you're not trying to look like them and play like them and act like them and talk like them.
No.
You're not trying to do that anymore because you're a grown man now. He's just another grown man to you who happens to be really good at
Exactly.
basketball now.
Yeah, I
That's
get
how you
that.
look at it.
I get that.
But back in the day, that like LeBron was my fucking superhero growing up. He was a
Exactly.
superhero. He wasn't a human being to me.
Exactly.
He was a superhero.
It's
So
not
that's
it's not the market.
I'm really curious to see what younger NBA fans how they look at it.
I'll tell you, my
don't know.
nephew, he's like 10 or 11. All he talks about is Wemby and Steph Curry. They still talk about Steph Curry
Yeah, but how does you if you even know stuff?
because they'll go on YouTube and they'll say,
But that's what I'm saying.
They'll
though.
watch Steph Curry.
That's what I'm saying. But
Like-
that's our fault, though. As like a generation, that's our fault. Because what does a 10-year-old
Brother,
know about
but-
Steph Curry,
Brother,
bro?
look, I'm gonna say it just like how it is. Those old players, we're done with them. LeBron, I'm done with him. Steph, I'm done with him.
Oh, I'm
The
not.
Red, Kim,
I'm not.
they're not gonna be as dominant as these younger
No.
players are. Trust me, they're not.
No.
I promise you they're not. We want to move on from this, bro. Like you said, we're 30. I'm enjoying this. I love this.
I'm ready to move on from them. I don't want to see Tyrese in NBA Finals
don't wanna
anymore.
see that
I
stuff. I know.
all respect.
It's
to
not
NBA.
about the
I don't
big
wanna see-
markets,
I know.
I
guys,
don't
but
wanna
I
see
not the
bet
big
Tyrese in
markets.
NBA
No,
I
Finals.
bet you, though, just to go back to the question, bro.
Yeah.
It ain't have to do about like whether it's the big markets or more entertaining. He just told us. It was
Yeah, yeah,
Cleveland.
yeah.
I want to see the best players in the NBA
Yes.
Finals.
Okay.
I guarantee you right now, all of us here, for the most part, right? We all think 2 of the 3 best players in the league are Giannis and Joker,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
If it was Milwaukee and Denver,
Yes.
right? You'll never go to Milwaukee in your life, and you'll never go to Denver. This would be one of the highest viewed.
Or even OKC, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
it was. Denver and
Yeah.
whatever.
100%.
Whatever
I
it
agree
was,
with you.
bro.
Yep. Because
Whatever, bro.
why,
None of us-
why
none of
would
us
why
had
would
these
you
Pacers.
watch it though?
You want to bet if it was OKC, New York, I'd be more glued to my TV.
But why?
Absolutely.
Why, if it was one of the top 5 bona fide best players in this league, why? Because there's so much behind it.
Okay.
Right now, if Haliburton found a way to win this series, there's not a damn soul that's
let's-
going to come on and say Haliburton is better than SGA. But if it was like Milwaukee versus Denver, I'm gonna be like, hey,
Well, we're
and
so-
like let's just say Denver. I'm gonna be like, hey, like, what just happened, bro? I think
but
Joker's better than him.
on the
now.
other side,
Like there's questions. There ain't no stories on this. The only story here, like the real story,
SGA.
is SGA starting his legacy.
Okay.
That's it.
Yes.
There is nothing else.
Yes.
Because if the Indiana Pacers win the freaking finals, they're just like the Detroit Pistons. They're just like they're the odd team that won, man. That's all it is. You guys could try to sit here and
Once
twist
they're in
it.
the finals again next year, though.
Well, then I'll stay quiet.
But what
But,
the hell do we do with Tyrese at
you
that
know,
point?
then we gotta start having some conversations. But
My guess it'll change though. I think Kevin Durant is gonna change some shit
you think so?
this summer. Yeah, I think some shit is gonna be shooking up. Bro, I gotta ask you a question, Ali. Because you said you're done with Kevin Durant, right?
No,
I understand. I understand. But if this was Ant and KD
yes.
instead of even Shea, who's better than both of them,
Yes.
you'd be more interested in the series to watch Ant and KD.
Of course. Because of Ant.
No, because of both.
No, because of both.
Because of both, yes.
But mostly
It's
because of Ant. Because Ant last year, he
No, I agree.
he swept them.
I agree.
He swept them, brother.
If this was Steph Curry instead of Tyrese on this Indiana Pacers team, none of us would be saying anything.
Nope, we would
We'd
all.
be glued
I
to our
swear
TV,
to God. How
and
about
we'd be
this?
like,
we'd be
man.
cheering for Indiana.
We would be. I would be cheering for Indiana.
We would cheer. We would be
I
cheering,
would
and
be
we
cheering
would.
for
You would have
Indiana.
found a way to
Get it,
down
bro.
SGA.
But you know what we're doing right now? You know what
We're being old heads.
Exactly.
I already know 1,000%.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm accepting of the fact.
I'm not.
I'm accepting
not
that
doing
I'm old
though.
then. I'm
You guys,
accepting
yeah,
the
I'm
fact.
not doing that. I'm okay with it, man.
No, I'm saying I'm wrong. We're doing that.
Listen,
I'm agreeing with you.
we had the pleasure of watching these guys dominate,
Yeah,
these all-time greats.
yeah,
Like, okay. Well, honestly, give them their flowers, round of applause.
yeah.
Well, let's move on. Honestly,
I can
let's
move on. Well, you know how I can move on?
How?
When you tell me LeBron, KD, and Steph,
Yeah.
they're better than these three, and then I'll move on.
They're better than
than
these
Jokic, Giannis, and SGA. Are they better than these
right
three?
now?
No, just in general.
In general?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Then
Oh,
Then I'll move on.
absolutely.
I'll move on.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll move on. Are they though?
No,
What?
not yet. You mean as players today?
Like in their peaks?
No. What the
I
what?
thought it was players today. Obviously, it's not a question.
Oh, I know, but I think that's what I thought.
No. At their peaks.
Oh, then
Steph at their peak. KD
Matt.
at their peak. LeBron is at their peak is not better than Jokic, Giannis, and SGA.
no, but that's his point. That's his point. His point is until you could give me something that's gonna make me move off of those guys. Because you know what's so crazy about this?
No, I was just trying to be funny. I was just saying, give me it so I can move on.
Oh,
Give me it so I can move
Yeah.
on. Once you this Indiana Pacers team about to go up 2-1, Ace. What's going on
hey,
here?
the Pacers got a lead,
What's going
bro.
on here?
Hey,
Hey, Shay, don't become a choke.
You see why I'm joining
hey,
this?
I have a
Cash.
question. I have a question for you, real quick. I'm happy this is happening. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, and it's not even on the agenda. As
Ace
you
is
guys
gonna
see.
kill me for moving the mic.
Can okay,
5 times already.
are you guys believers of? Okay, so let's just say the Indiana Pacers win the series in 6 or 7 or whatever. They win the series,
Mhm.
and let's just say Shea's averaging his 34 points, 7 and 8, whatever. He has a really good good series.
Regular series, basically. Okay.
Do you walk away and criticize SGA for losing to the Pacers even with those stats?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Because we've done it with every great player before.
Exactly. Why not do it with him?
No, just take away that you've done it with every. Do you think it's right?
Yes,
Do
it
you-
is right.
absolutely.
Okay.
Because he was the best player on both teams. He had the better team
Uh-huh.
from both teams,
Uh-huh.
better all-around teams,
Uh-huh.
better defense,
Uh-huh.
better shooting, better coach,
Uh-huh.
better everything.
Well,
You lost.
My guess is if he's averaging 34, 7, 8 and lost, some of those were empty numbers. That's my guess.
There we go.
Because this team is so much better than the other one. That'd be my
Absolutely.
guess. This ain't LeBron in San Antonio. This ain't LeBron averaging 30 on 50% and getting beat by 18 a game. This ain't
Well,
one of
what if
those.
he's
This
giving you
is-
34 on 50% in 7 and 8? Now, I'm just telling you guys, I
It
agree
depends
with
on
you
how
guys.
it happened.
But is there any way you walk away and be like, damn, SGA really let that one go?
Yes.
Even
Yes,
averaging 34.
absolutely, bro.
No matter how it goes. Unless obviously it's
Because
injury.
we would have
but,
told
no matter how it
we
goes.
would have
Like-
we would have told LeBron, Kobe, and Mike to average 37. and win the
Exactly.
game. So I mean, you want to be the face, you want to be that guy, you got to be that guy. You got to take everything that comes with it, not just the good. You got to take the bad too.
Yes, sir.
Love it. Let's get off the NBA Finals for a second, boys. This is actually really crazy that the Indiana Pacers finally have a lead. And you thought the Pacers were going to do a lot better, especially, role players play better at home. I'm
Yeah.
interested. Does Haliburton have any points?
Yeah.
I'm like dead ass. Like, how's
Yeah.
he doing?
He has. Where is it at? He has 5 assists and
2 points.
5 points.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Still early though.
I think I seen the OKC has 0 bench points and they have like 20.
SGA has 6 points.
Okay, not a great game, but they'll end up with 30 some. I should have took the under. The under should have been taken on 34 this time around, huh?
I'll have 25 today.
All right, let's jump off the NBA Finals, boys.
He'll have 30.
Yeah, let's jump off the NBA Finals. We're talking about Kevin Durant and not letting go. Today, actually, there was a list that came out where it says this is his preferred landing spots. It's Houston, Spurs, the Wolves, and the Heat in New York. So I wanted to ask you guys, when it comes to Kevin Durant, which landing spot do you think is best for him between Houston, Spurs, the Wolves, the Heat, and New York?
Where I want to see him, I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna answer your question after this one. Where I want to see him is the Wolves. What's better for him is New York, because if I look at the landscape of the East next year, Jason Tatum unfortunately probably won't play, and if he does play, it'll be super late. I think it's wide open in the East. If the best team you got to go through is fucking Indiana, then you have a really good chance of making the NBA Finals. And he covers up a major hole that team has, which is its ability to generate offense in the half court and playing fast. So I want to see him in New York. I think that'd be best for his career if he went to New York City. And KD New York would be fucking nuts.
That would be crazy.
How about
That's
you?
what
Where
it
do you
is.
want to see him?
I mean, I would want to see him, like you said, I want to see him in Minnesota, him and Ant. But probably San Antonio, man. San Antonio, him, Wemby, Fox.
The problem is in San Antonio, like if the reason why I don't like it is because if he was in San Antonio, bro, I still think they're not as good as this OKC team. That's why I like them. I like him in the East.
But they'll definitely be if Wemby stays healthy, Foxy stays healthy, and
They'll be
Durant stays healthy.
dangerous. Absolutely.
They'll be in the Western Conference Finals.
They'll be dangerous.
Very dangerous.
They'll be dangerous.
I think it's a good fit for him.
Where do you want him?
I want to see him in San Antonio because I really like the fit of him and Wemby. I like him with the young guy. I really do, depending on the third-year jump by Wemby, I do think they could contend with OKC. Because, I mean, again, I think the NBA in general is wide open. I tell you, I don't want to see him in Houston. I don't want to see him in Miami. New York, listen, you want to know the only problem with New York and why I don't want to see him in New York? It would be really fun and we finally get that big name in New York. Because I think that New York, they would expect way too much out of a guy who's like going to be 38 years old. And, at this point, again, he's 38 years old. I don't want to be in a place where people start dogging on Kevin Durant saying he's bad because he doesn't take that Knicks team to the next level.
That's because you think Kevin Durant will ever be bad.
That I just, at 38, I'm not putting a lot of hope.
I'm expecting 25 a game from him next year.
No, he
Why
would give you.
wouldn't I?
He would be giving you 25, but I don't know. I just think New York would eat him up. It would be cool as hell to see him. It would be cool to see him in.
KD's is a lot more of a dog than we give him credit
I think I would like to see him in Minnesota. Minnesota, him and Ant.
Minnesota would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him and Wemby together. It's just
I definitely want to see him.
That'd be
in
wild,
Why?
Daddy.
that would be
That'd be
crazy.
wild.
Two tall guys.
And Fox.
Amazing, man. Him and Fox. Oh my God, that would
Foxy.
be.
I want to see him.
That'd be so fun, bro.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't know. Maybe I don't. You guys don't share the same sentiment, but to me, like Wemby is not a. I don't like watching him play basketball. It's not entertaining to me, just because that play style I just don't find entertaining. But I could see why somebody would. But him in New York, the storylines, bro.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
again, man, like you could say, oh, it's wide open, but man, this is a team whose average age is fucking 24. They won 70 games this year, and they're gonna be back next year, and it's gonna be a tough team to go through.
Absolutely.
On the East, it's like, oh, well, we got Giannis who might not even be there. And we got fucking, who else? We got Detroit. We got
Hey,
Boston.
can you imagine-
Boston without Tatum. Like, who?
You imagine
You understand what I'm saying?
his-
Like, it's
his dream comes true.
much easier.
His dream comes true for a super team. Giannis and KD come together.
I built it. He didn't like it. Guys,
No way.
Detroit, make it happen.
It's not that I didn't like it, brother. I just
Make
told
it
you.
happen.
Giannis,
I just told you that.
KD?
I just told you that the Milwaukee Bucks would
Let me dream.
throw up.
Come on, take 6 picks. Whatever, bro.
Yeah,
take
yeah,
all.
yeah,
We
We
have
have
them.
them, don't we?
Yeah. Well, first and second. Yeah, take them.
That's all. We'll never be
Draft
GMs.
picks la book. Yeah.
Okay, we're 50.
I'll give him 50. Yeah.
Hey, this is gonna be a fun game. This is gonna
It
go
is.
down to the wire. I
It
can't
sure
wait to
is.
watch it. All right, let's jump off Mr. Kevin Durant. I did want to ask you guys, who do you guys think is the next player that's gonna make their like Hali run and be this random player to lead their team to an NBA Finals and make a run? And not one of those top 5
Giannis.
or 10 guys. Yeah, don't give me one of those
Who do
guys.
you think it is?
I'm gonna give a familiar face that's done it before. I'm gonna go with Devin Booker because we haven't seen him in a really long time, and I think he's become very, very underrated based off of where people like put him right now. But I think of a guy like if you put him in the right system, put the right players around, I think he can make one of those Hali runs again. Like a guy that has not, we don't consider him a top 5 player, but I think if they utilize them correctly, they put the right players around him. I could see him doing it because he's done it before. So I could see him doing it like that. Him or a guy like D. Mitch, I could see that.
Okay.
Child.
I mean, on paper, they had the best team in the NBA.
No,
Those trios.
Which one?
definitely not.
That's
The
Suns
Suns?
team.
The Suns team that won 30 games this year?
Yeah.
No,
On paper. That's why I said on paper.
Not on paper, brother.
No,
Nobody.
I mean,
nobody.
he had more help than this win 30 games, but
Yes, absolutely.
guys, we're gonna agree to disagree about this. I'm just not a Devin Booker guy, man. Sorry, I
Me neither.
think he's an excellent player. I'm not a Devin Booker guy. I think he's,
I think
He's
we
what he
both
is.
agree with each other.
He
He's
is what he
definitely an
is.
excellent player.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's the guy.
yeah. I can see
That
it.
I'm trying to think of like somebody else that could do it.
On top of my head, probably a guy like. I'm gonna reach real quick.
I love my little ball.
I'm gonna reach real quick.
Who is it?
A guy like Maxey.
yeah.
Why not?
I can see it.
I mean, he averaged what? 22 points, 23 points this year.
I
Given
can see
Embiid
it. That
was
would,
hurt.
speaking of Maxey, yeah, I could. That would be
Why not?
kind of crazy.
That Philly team taking him there.
How about a guy like AD?
That's not a Hali run though.
Yeah,
Not a
something.
Hali
Hali's
run,
like
but
out
it's,
of nowhere. Like I was even gonna say Cade, but like most,
no.
a lot of
that's-
people won't be shocked
yeah.
if Cade went on a run.
That's the only reason I thought of a guy like D Book because I think if you go ask anyway, most people forgot about D Book.
I have a good one. Would you be shocked if Trae Young did it?
He's
A
done
little.
it.
To a
Not
finals?
a
Not to the
finals?
finals.
Yes.
But I mean,
I would
he's
be
come
shocked.
You'd be
Yeah, I
shocked.
would be definitely shocked.
Really?
If I told you the Atlanta Hawks were going to be in the NBA Finals next year, yes.
Yeah,
you'd
I would be shocked because it's Atlanta, not because it's Trae Young.
How about?
And I would
I'd be
also be
shocked
shocked that it was
how about
Trae
a guy,
Young.
guy like?
Because it's been a long time that I've seen him. It's a long time that I've seen him perform like that. Like
The
up,
second best player was Clint Capella for 3 years.
so that's like my whole. You know what I'm
a
saying?
guy like Paolo.
But no, I don't. I wouldn't be shocked if Paolo like.
Oh, I'd be shocked.
Why?
If Orlando was in the final, depending on
Well,
who they
I
put
don't
around
think
him.
he has the capability of doing that. Though.
Oh, Paolo's a beast, bro.
He's a beast. But I don't
Paolo's
think he can
more than
carry a
good
team
enough.
like that.
To an
Paolo's
NBA
more than
Finals.
good enough. Bro.
Yeah,
But that team might. The Orlando team, don't sleep on them.
I'm not
They
sleeping
don't
on 'em.
need to be carried, brother.
I'm not.
They
sleeping
don't
on
need
him.
to be carried.
Are they like a
They need a.
like a knockoff version of these Pacers? And we're not
Nah,
seeing
they
that?
need. They're one of the worst offensive teams in the league, so they got to find some guard play. That's the problem with
I
Orlando.
swear to God, if you lined up this Indiana team and that Orlando team before the season, you guys would have said Orlando's more talented.
Yeah, I mean,
swear to God,
100%.
you would.
And we absolutely would have, but talent results.
100%. But that's what I'm saying, though. That's why it
Yeah.
won't be like a.
Paolo's better than Hali?
Come on, Ali, bro. Come on. Yes, he's better than him.
Okay.
Oh man, it would be really.
I don't think he's a superstar. I said if he goes out and fucking averages 24 and 11, those are the exact numbers I used, was 24 and 12 actually, and wins the NBA championship, then yeah, I gotta give him a superstar nod.
Oh, I didn't go like that. I went all like that.
Can I ask you a question? To you, be honest, Ali, real quick. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. Is Tyrese a superstar?
My eyes?
Yeah.
I mean, he's borderline superstar.
Borderline?
Yeah.
Is he elite?
You know what the problem with that is?
Huh?
You know what the problem with that is?
What's the problem?
Name me another borderline superstar that didn't make an All-Star game. He didn't make the All-Star game this year. He wasn't an All-Star this year.
Brunson didn't make
There was 30 guys that got picked for the
Brunson didn't
All-Star.
make
He wasn't. Brunson made the All-Star game this
No, he
year.
didn't.
Brunson wasn't an All-Star this year?
No.
But for the
Jalen Brunson wasn't an All-Star?
No.
Was he hurt?
No.
Then he's not a superstar.
Are you
then
sure?
He's not a borderline superstar. How sure are you?
Because they had that what's it called? That format, bro. It was a nasty format. I don't think he
Yeah,
made
but it
it.
was
the
still
best-
the
the best-
format has not the format.
LaMelo
was
didn't
playing.
make it. LaMelo
I mean,
was
LaMelo isn't
I
a
know.
fucking world beater, bro.
Trae Young didn't make it.
But again, you're naming guys that are definitely not superstars.
Cade didn't make it.
You're naming guys that are definitely not superstars.
I said borderline. That's why I said borderline. Of course they're not superstars, man.
This the thing. The superstar conversation is just hard because everybody has a different definition of superstar. It's such a subjective.
I guess. Yeah.
The
Everybody has
easiest
different-
way to
Jalen
do it.
Brunson and Cade both made it.
They both made it.
They-
No, they got subbed in because somebody got hurt.
Oh, either way though,
I mean,
they
no,
were
bro. They
reserves.
fucking averaged 26 and 7, 26 and
I know.
9.
The easiest way I'll ask you is he one of the elite?
Trae Young made it too, by the way.
Yeah, is
Did
he
he?
elite?
He's bad.
Is he elite?
He's bad.
No,
Is he
I'm just-
elite?
I'm just stupid. Wow.
No, you're not stupid. He's bad.
Yeah.
Is he elite?
He's not bad. He's not elite. No.
Well, two things can't be true. You know how I like to say,
But if
two-
he averages 24 and 12 and beats the best team in the league, he's elite. He's an elite player. Because
Brother.
it takes an elite player to do that. You got to admit, it takes an elite player to do that.
here's the only thing I'll say.
If he averages 15 and 10 and squeezes it out in 7, then no, he's not elite.
I'll
bro.
tell you guys that you guys can start having the conversation with me about superstar, but I would still very, very be against it. Again, but it's all about what your definition of superstar is.
But you have 4 guys that are superstars. And that's
My definition is closer to yours than his.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I still think.
Yeah, no, elite, like elite guys.
Like, I don't think Jason Tatum is a superstar.
But if somebody tried to sit here and argue with you
Yeah,
about
I'm
it,
more open
they're
to
going to
it.
have a really good point. They're going to be like, well, this guy has gone
I'm
to
more
this
open
many Eastern Conference. He's won a
Absolutely.
championship, you know?
Oh my God.
He's gotten MVP votes before.
Yes, absolutely.
He's been viewed as the best player before. Then I had to shut my mouth. But like, you know, we talked about it last week and we brought up Embiid. No, he's not a superstar because to be a superstar, part of it is being on the court and being healthy.
But when healthy, he's a super duper star.
But I won't put him on a superstar list because unfortunately, he's not on the court enough.
No,
I
I'm going to
have-
put him because I put
I
Giannis,
have-
and Giannis has been hurt a ton in the playoffs.
I have 5
But
guys.
I've seen Giannis make runs and runs
Yeah, no,
where
I
he's
mean,
not. Then he won.
This is the problem
Yeah.
that we running into. Yes. 2 guys can be superstars. One could be a lot better than the other, though.
I just keep my list clear cut. Then I swear, I'm
Even on your list, there are players that are better than others, though.
yes, but I just cut that list off. Somebody I cut it.
James Harden, when he was in Houston, was a superstar. That man was a superstar.
Yes.
No deep playoff runs. One.
Never, yeah. He's
One
never
One
made a
deep
finals.
playoff run. But he was a
He's never-
superstar.
he's Never made a
If
finals.
you would have said he's not a superstar, you would have been an idiot.
But
40 and 10 is a superstar.
but again though, like my definition, I've given 3 definitions, but they all fall under the same umbrella. The bona fide best players in the league, no matter what, no matter the situation. Best players, elite players.
Okay.
Could win an MVP year in, year out. Guys, Haliburton is not winning MVP. The last guy to win an MVP that was like Haliburton was Steve Nash. And those teams were winning 60, 65 games, right?
That's crazy.
You know, well, I don't think Haliburton has the capabilities of doing that. And I could be wrong, and it could be because of the team that he's on. But for God's sakes, guys, we don't know if he's the best player on his team.
If you ask me personally, man, I really always lean Siakam.
I know.
He's the better player, but I lean Siakam.
No, but if it's that close and nobody thinks Siakam's a top 20 player in this freaking
He's
league,
a top 20.
but you know, I'm
Yeah,
talking
I know
about,
what you mean,
Yeah,
but
you know
he's
what I'm
definitely
general
top 20
consensus.
player.
I could, you know what? I can argue with you if I really want to be an asshole. I could be like, is he 20? And we can start going down lists, and we're gonna get closer to 15 than it is gonna be to 20, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, he could win the fucking NBA Finals all he wants, man. But I'm not gonna lessen my definition for that.
But
It's my definition.
again, if he averaged 24 and 12, I came and beat a 70-win OKC team. That's superstar material.
We can have conversations.
That's all. That's all.
Yeah, conversations.
All I want. I never said let's put Tyrese as superstar.
Yeah, but I'll tell
said
you-
let's leave. Let's leave a little bit of room.
Do you know why?
Let's leave some room in
you
the
know
club.
why? You know why I huffed and puffed when we first started the conversations when we were talking about like what player?
Why?
Because man, I swear to God, man, there's still like 15 guys I might take over Tyrese Haliburton,
As a player, yeah, there's 15 at least.
and that means something.
Apparently, just let's do it real quick. I'll do this year's All Stars. Jaylen Brown,
As a player, I think he's a better player than him. Yeah,
Steph,
Are you taking him over Haliburton?
Jaylen Brown. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, same.
Steph,
Yes.
KD.
Today. Yes, today.
James
yes.
Harden.
Look
at metrics. James Harden is better. You're gonna use metrics.
No, I know what James Harden averages.
23, 9, and 6. In case you forgot. This year.
I still think James Harden is a better player than him.
Kyrie. I think Kyrie's better than Haley. But I mean, like on this Indiana team, I'm taking Haley though.
Go back to James Harden and Kyrie. Those are where you could put them in the conversation with. And those guys are freaking.
Bron.
No, I think Bron's still better than him.
This one is interesting. Dame.
That's in the same conversation of Harden and
Okay. Tatum.
they're not even the same. They're
AD.
not. Who?
AD.
Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis is a better player.
Brunson.
I think Brunson's a better player than him.
Cade.
I think Cade is a better player than.
Ant.
I think Ant is a better player.
Garland.
I'll take Tyrese Haliburton over Garland.
This one, don't sneeze at it too fast.
No, I won't.
Just relax
I won't.
and really, really, truly think about it. Think about the situation.
Okay.
Tyler Hero. The guy averaged 24 a game, 24, 6, and 5 this year. Just really think about it.
I'm with you, and it's something against Tyler Hero, but I'm gonna take Tyrese.
I'm not mad at you.
I think he elevates his teammates better.
JJJ.
I'll take Tyrese.
Evan Mobley.
Man, in about a year, if he could get his offensive game together, I'll say Mobley. But today, I'll take Tyrese.
This one we might scrap about.
Who?
Jalen Williams. J-Dub.
J-Dub.
Yeah. I'm not trading Tyrese for J-Dub. Sorry, guys. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. No, if I'm OKC, I'm not trading him.
No, I'm not. I think J-Dub is a better player. Yeah.
I agree with you. Shea. Yoke. D-Mitch.
I think D-Mitch is a better
I
player
don't
than
think
him.
that's even a
Yeah, I mean,
Siakam.
listen, for the sake of
He's the lone pacer that made an All-Star this year.
yeah,
Just so
for
you're
the
aware.
sake of
Make this quick because there's a
I'll
couple more.
I'll take Tyrese. I'll take Tyrese.
Shengun. This one's Shengun. I'm not even gonna let you think about it.
I might go with Tyrese on that
No,
one.
this is just Shengun. Well, this. Cat.
I'll take Tyrese. I'm not a big Cat fan, but that's just 'cause I'm-
Wembenyama.
I don't even think we're even talking about the same planet.
Okay.
Wemby,
You're high on Wemby, huh?
very
Is
high.
Wemby
on
even
him.
like top 10 right now in the league?
I think when healthy, you'll see him be a top 5 player in
See
this
him,
league.
but right now is he a top 10? Like the league
Yes,
ended today.
if we're just talking about healthy, absolutely. We're talking
he?
about one of the best two-way players in the league. Yeah.
There's a lot of those guys now. They say 2009 anymore. Everybody's two-way now. Giannis, SGA.
I think Wemby's going to be a better player than Ant.
Trey Young.
I think Trae Young is better than Tyrese.
And finally, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, Giannis. I mean, guys, like you're gonna have to really like. I'm just and
Giannis is closer to Michael Jordan
yeah.
than Tyrese.
You guys are really gonna have to like.
Yeah.
Like a Devin Booker fan can make an argument against Tyrese.
What are you talking about?
Relax.
Giannis is closer to Mike than Tyrese is to Giannis.
Yes, man. What guys? Can I
The guy averaged 33, 13,
guys,
and 5
the guy
for 4
averaged
years.
18 points and 10 assists this year. It's not like it's
Great point guard numbers, though.
And you know what's something
It's
about
excellent point
you said
guard
something
numbers.
about the pure point guards is because the pure point guard doesn't exist anymore because now we have guys that give you 30 and 10 assists.
30 and 10?
Yeah, like guys like Luka gives you 30 and 10.
Just Luka.
And guys like SGA
30
will
and
give
6.
you the 30 and the 6. I will take the couple extra points. The pure point guard, we talked about it all these times about the point. It's because those guys didn't know how to score the ball. It wasn't because they were trying to be pure.
No, I know.
Rondo couldn't score the ball.
But you know, this guy, they generate almost as many points for their team. 18 and 11, you're generating almost the same amount of points for your team as 30-4.
I know, but you
30-5.
can't just sit here and try to argue with me. Like, I mean, man, it's just hard for me.
Whatever.
It's
No
hard
big
for
deal.
me. Yeah.
Tyrese is not good at basketball. We got that
No,
covered.
no, and it's not. He's underrated. Give him some props, man. But man, we start talking about elite of elite guys, man. Leave it out of there, bro. Okay. There's no argument, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited for this next game.
Alrighty, boys. Let's get into the funnest part of our show, baby.
Yes.
My favorite part.
The games. I think this is my last week before Sway takes over. I'm on my A game. Because listen,
You gotta bring it. Too many WWE references on the spot. I don't like it on this episode.
Hey, did you like my WWE one's been? We gotta start talking WWE, bro.
Okay, real quick before we get into the games, I gotta tell a story.
What's up?
We went to the Airbnb, and we were at the pool messing around, and we were doing WWE entrances. I have to show you my Triple H entrance. You guys will love it. I did the water.
Tell me you recorded it.
Yeah, of course it was recorded.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'll show it to you guys. And as soon as I did mind you, we had a speaker, and we were in the pool and we were yelling and screaming, making noise, and I'm doing my Triple H entrance. And my pops gets a text message from the owner. He's like, "Hey, if you guys don't mind, some of the neighbors are complaining about the noise. If you guys could tone it down a little bit."
Oh, you guys were that loud?
So originally, the women, they got upset. You know how women get. We weren't even that fucking loud. We weren't.
Yeah.
I was like, guys,
We were loud.
we're pretty loud. It was a Monday.
Ouch.
It was a Monday at 2 p.m. And we're like, oh, it's Memorial Day. Well,
Yeah.
we're in Canada. There's
But
no
it had
Memorial
Memorial
Day.
Day, exactly.
It's Monday.
They
It's
had
a Monday
kids.
morning.
They had kids that were going to school.
Yeah. So, yeah, gotta show it to you guys. You guys will love it. I used to
Top
practice
5
in the
entrances
shower.
of all time, man. Top 5 entrances
The
of
one
all
where
time.
he came back in Madison Square Garden
was wild.
is insane. Yeah.
The one after injury when he comes back is amazing.
That's why WWE fans are always so finicky. Because they hated Triple H.
Yeah, such
I
a
mean, as
They
a
were-
kid, I
They were
hated him.
no, not a heel. They were down on Triple H. They didn't like Triple H.
Why?
Like as a wrestler at that time, WWE fans were out on Triple
He
H.
wasn't the greatest wrestler of all time.
But they were just annoyed. The Vince McMahon thing, Stephanie McMahon, the
Yeah.
nepotism. They were just annoyed about stuff like that.
Yeah, it
And
was
he
true,
came back
brother.
in Madison Square Garden, and they're like, "Oh, we miss this guy, bro.
Sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you gotta.
You gotta miss people
You gotta
sometimes."
miss
I'm gonna go ahead and say that's probably one of the greatest creative minds of all time in any entertainment.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
Triple H is a
Yes.
beast, man. Triple H is
I'm
a
not gonna
beast.
argue with you.
Anyways,
Any Hoosiers?
Let's get back
I
to
watched
reality.
Hoosiers recently. Very good show.
Really?
Very good movie. I got it.
watched it.
Any Hoosiers? We're gonna get into the games.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was Hattie's idea,
Yeah.
Really good idea.
which is really what was weird about it is he wants to do the redraft of 2016. I kept on thinking, why does he want to do 2016? Is it because of Siakam?
No.
Why did you do 2016?
Because it's a lot deeper than I thought it was.
It was a lot deeper.
It's a very deep class.
it's a random ass
It's
class.
deep though.
Yeah. We're gonna. I'll tell you guys who originally was the top 5 draft order of the 2006. Number 1 was Ben Simmons, Mr. I don't care about basketball. Then you had BI to the Lakers, Jaylen Brown, Mr. Finals MVP to the Boston Celtics. Number 4, Dragon Bender to the Suns. Wow, the Suns. And number 5, I think Chris Dunn went to the Timberwolves, if I'm not wrong.
You sure
Absolutely.
did.
Right? So we're gonna redraft the 2016 NBA draft with the number 1 pick. Who we going with?
I'm going Jaylen Brown. Number 1 overall pick.
100% the best two-way player,
Yep.
Finals MVP.
Yep.
Number 2,
I'm going Jamal Murray.
Oh,
I'm going Pascal
Got
Siakam.
a Los Angeles Lakers.
I'm going Sabonis.
No,
I mean,
I'm,
Jesus,
I
we're
went-
very far off
I
from
went
each
with,
other.
I went with Pascal Siakam, a constant.
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam was
Listen,
27th.
All-Star has made a couple All-Star teams.
I'm going Jamal Murray.
I think Pascal. Number 3, who did you guys have?
Siakam. Number 3.
Number 3, I had Sabonis.
Wow.
Number 3.
Okay.
Who do you guys have number 4?
Sabonis.
Jamal Murray.
I had BI number 4.
Wow, man.
And number
Jamal
4,
Murray fell in your draft.
number
huh?
5, who do you guys have?
BI.
Yeah.
I had Jamal Murray number 5.
For
Okay.
shits and giggles, 6th I had DeJounte Murray, 7th I had Ivica Zubac.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, my honorable
Honestly.
mention was DeJounte Murray. I'll tell you guys my thinking behind this, right? I went Jaylen Brown. I think that was the obvious one.
It was.
But I knew our next 4 was going to be pretty,
Pretty scattered.
yeah, because
But it's the same guys, though.
That is the same.
Yeah.
guys,
But it's scattered.
I went Pascal number 2 because, again, he's made some all-star teams. He's been sometimes the best player on a championship team, some can argue, and he had that run in Toronto.
Mhm.
Number 3, I went with Sabonis again. He made an all-star team.
I like when I'm drafting high, I want guys that can create their own shot. He can create his own
Sabonis
shot
was
way
the
more
only
than,
one.
more than Siakam can.
And same thing, BI, Brandon Ingram. I look at him as like a cosplay of
And you have Jamal Murray, the greatest playoff performer of all time.
Yeah,
No, we're pretty.
I
We're
think
we're there.
We're close.
we're pretty close.
We're there.
We're
pretty
closer
close.
than I thought we'd be.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Who did
If
you
you want
think
the
was? Who do you think we were gonna?
I really did not think you were gonna take. I didn't think you were gonna take Jaylen Brown first. Like just.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's the obvious one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
In this draft, sure, because it's a clunker.
It is a clunker, but again, deep.
It is. There are some
Deep,
good
bro.
players in there. There's some good players in there.
Deep.
Alrighty, let's go on to our next game.
Can I jump in here real quick? Just can I jump in here real quick?
Oh, what are you asking?
I'm gonna
for?
jump in here real quick. Go ahead and take a look at your phones for me.
Okay.
Pull it up. Pull up your phones. I'm gonna show you two guys. This is them in the playoffs. We're gonna blindly choose the playoff performer in his career. Just so you're aware, one played 83 games, one played 79 games. So they're almost tied in games played. Whose career would you rather have based on these stats?
This is career averages.
Yes. In the playoffs.
Are they both still playing?
Maybe, maybe not.
Oh, okay. Whose career would I rather have?
Roll
my
one.
God. Give me 1 second.
What?
Yeah, I want number one.
Okay. Number one is Jamal Murray.
Who's number two?
Carmelo Anthony.
Okay, because yeah.
In the playoffs?
Yes. Those are their playoff averages.
I mean,
Career.
okay. I'd
Yes.
still rather take Jamal Murray in the playoffs.
83 games versus 79 games played. They played the same amount of games.
Come on, Melo.
And I want to make this very fucking clear.
What's up?
And I played this game on fucking purpose.
Yes.
Is because when older guys, they tell me, oh, these guys could average 40. If they played today, they'd average 40. They'd average 45. They've averaged 50.
Absolutely.
A guy, he'll give him 50. A guy in our league who can't make all-star games is comparable to some of the best players when we were growing up. How much did we all love Carmelo Anthony on this podcast?
So much. I still love him till this
no.
day.
You know what's crazy, bro, is when these older guys, they talk about guys in the past, they always compare this is the thing that bothers me, their absolute peak pinnacle performances to these guys' worst career-defining moments. They never look at it as a whole and say, oh, as a whole, like who's better. I just had you guys look at two completely separate things. Didn't know who they were. And I asked you, who'd you rather be? And you guys said Jamal Murray. You'd rather be Jamal Murray as an NBA athlete in the playoffs over Carmelo Anthony. So just want to put that out there.
In the
Make my point.
playoffs, yeah. I mean, based
Yeah.
off of that, I would definitely be. But yeah,
It's very hard to disagree with the numbers, man.
Yeah, the numbers are pretty
Yeah.
staggering.
Yeah.
Yeah. that was great.
That
I
was
love
great.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do what we do every week, baby.
Yeah.
Our new guys versus the legends.
Mhm.
I feel like everybody loves these. I don't know if they love them because they love them or they hate them because, but we're going to do it every week until I run out of players.
Yeah.
We're going to do a would you rather current NBA stars versus NBA legends. The first people I got for you, Joker or Bill Russell?
Joker, because he
Joker.
played actual NBA basketball.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't care about the whole pioneer in basketball influence. Shout out to Bill Russell. I think as players, we're not even talking about the same two guys.
No, we're not.
Paul George or T-Mac?
I'm taking
Paul
T-Mac.
George.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Taking a guy that took his team to an Eastern Conference Finals and T-Mac that couldn't get out of the first round.
Second round.
Second round.
But
Whatever. Same thing.
Okay.
I'm taking the better
I mean, I
player.
think T-Mac is a better basketball player than Paul George. You're asking me?
Agree to disagree.
Because the offensively, I'm getting way more with T-Mac.
Paul George is
That's
a
what
really
I
good player.
But you're
I'll
getting
pick Paul
some
George.
good two-way from Paul George.
I am. But T-Mac was never a slouch on defense, though. He was
Man,
never a
I
slouch.
think Paul George got some.
I can't see Paul George bringing Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, to his knees, personally. But I saw
mean-
T-Mac do it. So
He did an
Offensively,
okay
bro?
job against LeBron
offensively,
in 2000. What was it?
I
did see
2014?
him.
I'm losing some on
Hey,
offense, guys.
listen,
At his peak, T-Mac was 33 a game. Don't disrespect T-Mac on this pod.
Not disrespecting
Don't
at all.
disrespect T-Mac on this
Not
pod.
disrespecting at all.
There will not be any T-Mac slander on
Never.
this pod.
Never.
I think I'm going to go with Paul George.
Nuts.
And the reason why I'm going to go with Paul George, I just feel like he's had a lot more years than with T-Mac.
T-Mac, I'm sorry.
injuries.
T-Mac, I'm sorry. This ain't. I'm innocent from this. This ain't me.
Guys,
It's
T-Mac injuries took a lot from T-Mac.
There's
Just
not a
saying.
scenario where Paul George is going to average 33 a game.
Anyways, D. Mitch or Brandon Roy?
D. Mitch. This one's not even a
D-Mitch.
question.
That's not even a question either. D-Mitch.
Not even a question. This guy who averages 12 more points a game in the playoffs. 12.
Jaylen Brown or Paul Pierce?
Paul Pierce, this one is actually a disrespectful question. We're just being real about it.
I'm going with the truth, my boy.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah,
Come on
I'm
now.
Gonna go,
This
I'm
one is
gonna
wrong.
go Paul Pierce. That's who Jaylen Brown should be looking to try to be.
Never.
Pierce.
That's what he should go to sleep, eat his vitamins, go to sleep, wake up, pray to God, go to the gym, train, so he can become 75% of Paul Pierce.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, on to the next one. I think this one might cause a little bit of a stir, but that's what we're here for. We're going to play start, cut, bench.
Mhm.
I got 3 players for you guys. I got SGA, I got D Wade, and I got James Harden. Who we starting?
We're starting SGA.
Without a doubt. That's not even a question.
We're starting the guy.
Today.
Yeah, we're starting the guy who is the more efficient scorer from the 3. And I would argue perimeter. I know D Wade is one of the league history leaders in blocks at the guard position. But if we're talking about perimeter defense, I'm taking him.
Does your
over
answer
perimeter.
change if he doesn't win this championship?
It does not.
No.
Really?
We're just talking about players.
It does not. We're talking about individual players. I
Yes.
think he's a better individual player
Who
than
you
D Wade.
benching?
I'm
D Wade.
benching James Harden.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because if we look at their absolute peak pinnacle, D Wade can't touch James Harden's offense. So, and that's a huge deal. It's a huge deal to me.
And you're gutting
Oh,
D Wade?
man.
I'm cutting D Wade. I'm gonna have to cut D Wade. Now, if we're talking playoffs,
But that's
just strictly playoffs.
that's part of it, though. You got to
but
talk.
even in the playoffs, guys, like
D-Wade-
06 was the pinnacle. And if
How many years
I
was D
contend
Wade
if
in the league?
if LeBron never got to Miami, D Wade was never probably gonna make an NBA Finals again in his career, bro.
How many years was D Wade in the league when he won that championship? Was that his third
It was
year?
his 3rd year in the league.
06?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came in 03. No, I'm
You're talking about a 30-year player that
Crazy.
won an NBA Finals.
Crazy. Unbelievable. At his peak, he was not James Harden, bro. He never was James Harden. He was never 38, 9, and 7, guys. Offensively, there's a big drop off between James Harden and Dwayne Wade.
Absolutely.
There's a big drop off.
Absolutely.
Now,
But-
who's a dog? Who would I rather go to war with? Those are all different things. But if we're saying who's a better basketball player, just individually basketball, I'm cutting D Wade. Sorry. And no disrespect, but we're talking about 2 of the greatest guards ever. I mean, it ain't like we're talking about bums.
All right, my last game before I hand it off to Swade. The producers told me before today, they're like, you might lose your job. I said, damn, okay.
Like that?
I had to bring my A game.
You're irreplaceable, my baby.
You know,
Come on now.
It is what it is, right?
You're a little replaceable with Ali, but you're irreplaceable in a lot of ways.
All right, next game. This is an interesting one. It's a different one. We've never done this one before.
Beautiful.
Right? So I had to bring my A game. We're gonna blindly rank these franchises' 2 best players as duos.
Hey.
How many we working with?
5.
Oh,
Okay.
First duo, Tim Duncan and Wemby.
Duncan.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna go in
4?
case there are the Lakers are gonna be on here. I'm going
1,000%.
3.
Let's go.
3. We have to go 3.
Okay. Because it's Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Okay.
to go 3.
We'll go. I'm good
We're
with
going
3.
3.
Embiid and AI.
5.
Yeah.
This one's 5. This one's
Sure? You want
Yeah.
to put him at 4?
I'm scared he's gonna have Bulls in there. He's
You're
gonna have
talking
Lakers
about-
in there.
listen,
He's
you're
gonna have some
talking
shit
about an
Knowing
MV
him,
You're
he's gonna
talking,
have like Bron and Shaq.
He's gonna have
guys-
Lakers in there. He's
you
gonna have
guys
some
are
shit,
talking
bro.
about Joel Embiid, an MVP winner, one of the best talented big men ever in AI. That's all
I said
got.
5.
I'm done with 5.
Did I stutter?
Joker and Melo.
4.
4. Cut it off.
4.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with the list so far.
Well, he's gonna fuck
Heavy.
us up.
KD and SGA.
Oh,
2. And I'm good with
I
it.
might go 1.
What if he has Lakers on there? He has
has
LeBron
LeBron
and
in there?
Kobe right
Are you
now.
sure?
100%.
Okay,
I'm going
I'm
2.
done with 2.
Last one's Kawhi and CP3.
You see what I'm talking about?
Hold on.
Hattie, no.
Hold on.
Hattie, shut up.
Hold on.
Hattie, shut up.
Hold on.
Hattie, no.
So,
No,
due to
absolutely
your-
not.
On what year? On what team?
It don't matter.
They're
Don't
peaks.
try to
Just their
switch
peaks.
it up.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming they're
They are
peaks.
now number 1.
What organization are we talking about?
Clippers.
Oh.
Clippers, Chris Paul.
Yeah, man.
Clippers, Chris Paul, or San
I
Antonio?
mean,
Chris Paul?
we're gonna put them one, unfortunately.
This is Clippers. This is
Tell him,
Clippers, guys.
SGA, KD, Hetty.
But you know, all I'm doing is I'm shifting these four, and
Yeah.
I'm taking the Clippers to the back.
So
I'm keeping everything else
with
the way
your
it is.
guys' GM management skills, you guys had Kawhi and CP3 at number 1, KD and SGA number 2. You guys had Timmy and Wimby, the Freak at number 3. Number 4, you guys had Joker and Melo. At number 5, you guys had Embiid and AI. Now,
Yeah.
if you guys knew this before, who was number 1?
Same thing. Again, I'm just shifting the
SGA
four,
and
and I'm
KD.
taking the first one and putting it in the back.
Yeah. SGA, KD.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You guys thought I was gonna have a Laker in there, did you guys?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, knowing you,
I thought he was gonna say Derrick Rose, Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's
guys,
2 though.
where was
LeBron and Mike. I mean, LeBron and Magic.
LeBron and Kobe?
LeBron and
It would have
if we're
been
talking Lakers, it should be Magic.
No, it would
But-
be LeBron and Kobe.
No big deal. Magic is definitely a greater Laker than
It's all
Kobe.
yours, my baby.
Hey,
Hey,
are you ready for
I'm
this?
excited.
Are you ready for
Your
How'd I
this?
do? How'd I
Listen,
do?
Crazy.
Yeah,
Your
well,
games have been hitting.
Yeah.
Do not let us down.
Are
man.
you ready for this?
I'm
It's
very
a
ready.
finals.
Are
Listen,
you ready?
Hey, this is a double. Can we do WWE, bro? We might as well at this point.
Break it down.
This is a finals edition. That's what we have to go. We have to go based off finals.
I'm excited for this one. You've been building this one up.
I couldn't believe these stats, bro.
So what are we playing right now?
We're gonna blindly rank these NBA finals performances. I'm gonna give you guys some stats.
Okay.
If you guys want it to be interesting, you can guess the player, or I can tell you the player. Whatever you guys want.
Let's blind rank them, and then you tell us who the players are.
Okay. 47 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Jesus Christ. I mean, we'd have to put that 3, right? There's a 50 ball in here somewhere.
I mean, that's 2. I'm gonna put it 2. We're talking about.
Just trust me and go 3.
Let's go 3. That's 4. We're talking about 38 and 7. Is that what I heard?
47 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists.
I'm gonna go. Let's go 2, bro.
Okay,
That's
we can go 2.
crazy, bro. We're talking about that's.
We can go 2. You're wrong. Actually, we're flipping it to 3. We're keeping it 3. I'm taking the
Okay.
Putting it at 3?
Yeah, I am.
40 points, 11 rebounds, and 13 assists. The triple-double.
I'm putting this at 4. There's a 50 bomb in here.
I feel really dumb doing it, but we'll put it number 4.
4.
51 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists.
I think
We're gonna put
that's-
that 2.
We'll put that 2.
42 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Sheesh, bro.
For the sake of
This has to go 1. 42, 15, and 7.
let's go number 1.
That man almost had 40, 20,
Yeah,
and
this
10.
guy almost had 40, 20.
So you guys have the 5th
Man,
spot.
this is
available.
1 second.
Yeah.
No. Is there another 50 in here? He's going to have Giannis's 50 ball in here. I feel it coming.
Giannis averaged 50 in a series?
He scored 50. To win the NBA championship, he scored
Oh,
50.
let's see.
But we can't put this game at 5.
Let's
Where's
put
he gonna
this.
put at 1?
Put it at number 1. What is number 5?
Ready for number 5?
Yeah.
21 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, and 8 blocks.
I'm good with that. 5.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Be number 5.
I'm good with
You're good with that 5?
Yeah.
With 8 blocks?
I know he had 21 points, so
Okay.
I'm good with that. 5.
So,
Who are these guys?
Can I guess some?
hold on. You're going to guess one of them. You already know one
Yeah,
of them.
the one,
Yeah.
number
Well,
2, I already know who it
You
is.
already know that's LeBron.
Yeah.
The 47 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists is a Steph game,
Wow.
game 3 in the 2019 finals.
Jesus.
We
The
forget.
triple-double, the 40 points, 11 rebounds, 13 assists is Jimmy Butler in game 3 of the 2020 finals.
Oh my God, bro.
The 51 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists is LeBron in the game 1 of 2018 finals. The 21 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, and 8 blocks is Tim Duncan in the game 6
That's
of
not
the 03
surprising.
finals. And last but not least, 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists is Magic in game 6 of his rookie
Yes.
debut in the 1980
Against the Philadelphia
NBA
76ers.
finals.
Where he jumped center.
When I seen these stats,
How he, like his whole
No.
mood changed.
when
he said
I
Magic.
No,
brother,
oh my God, bro.
look at me real quick.
I
Can you
can't
look at me
believe
real
that
quick?
there's
This was as a rookie.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Oh, I know.
Against
brother.
Hall of Famers.
Yes.
Against
Oh, I know.
This is as a rookie.
I know.
I cannot believe you guys have Tim Duncan at the 5th spot.
That goes 5th, though. You're comparing it to guys who had 40, 15, and fucking 7,
Eddie, he
bro.
damn near had a quadruple double.
I know, but he had 21 points, bro.
with
Who they
20
played that
rebounds.
year? They played New Jersey.
06, I'm sorry, 03 finals. I believe.
03, they played New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Some
Jesus.
honorable mentions. I already mentioned these guys to you. The Giannis won 50 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks. that was there. LeBron, 41 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 blocks in Game 6 of the 16 finals.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, these were wild, man. These were really wild.
All right, you got us. You got us game 1.
All right.
Don't forget the 41-16 and 7 game from LeBron.
Look at this Indiana game right now. 81, 79. Pacers are actually keeping a game. That's kind of crazy, man.
It's gonna be a
They're
crazy
going to win
ending.
the game. All right.
Another game.
Mhm.
It says you guys are gonna have to use your
Imagination.
your basketball knowledge.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna build. You guys are gonna build the perfect team using only players from this specific team.
We're going to build it together.
No, I'm gonna give you guys
Separate?
a team, and you guys go crazy. Hakeem, Portland. Eddie, Atlanta.
Me, Atlanta. I'm going Dominique Wilkins with my Atlanta pick.
Give me Portland.
Yes.
Give me Clyde. Clyde Drexler.
At the 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Should have took Dame.
Eddie.
Such a copycat. I took Nick. Dominique.
Okay. Then
I'm winning this so far.
you're gonna have to players from Atlanta that
Oh,
played
okay.
in Atlanta.
Oh,
all
Atlanta.
time.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
going Trae Young at my point.
Okay.
I'm going to go Dame at my point.
Okay.
At my 4.
No, we're just going
Oh.
one by one.
Give me some shooting. Give me Kyle Korver at the 2.
Not bad.
I love that. Oh, you hit him up on defense real quickly. At the 3, give me
Dig in your bag.
Brandon Roy. Healthy B Roy?
Can I change one of my picks?
No.
Why not?
It's
my team.
Over. I believe Dennis Rodman played with Portland, didn't he? No.
I was gonna, I'm good with Kyle. I was gonna switch it to Joe Johnson, but give me some shooting. I don't want ball stoppers.
Small. Go ahead. 2
I'm
more
gonna
picks.
keep Neek, obviously, and I'm gonna go interesting here. I'm gonna go Josh Smith at my 4, bro.
Whoa.
Give me the athleticism. Give me the defense. Give me Josh Smith at my 4, man.
Okay.
At the 4, you go ahead and give me my boy, Marcus Aldridge.
Good pick. Good pick.
Multiple time.
I like it.
All-star.
I like it.
You got one more pick, Eddie. That's your
See,
4.
for me, man, I'm building a roster. I'm building a lineup. I'm not
Franchise, huh?
going best guy. Give me the biggest names. I'm building a well-rounded, well-balanced team.
He's going.
I got my shooting. I got my rebounding.
So
I
do
got my scoring ISO if I need it. I got my passing in Trae
You
Young.
need defense.
Give me defense. Give me rebounding. And give me shot making in their prime. I'm going Al Horford at my 5, bro.
Wow.
I must have missed someone crazy in Atlanta. Unless I'm blinking on him.
All right, Hakeem. One more pick.
At my 5, it's between 2 guys. You got Greg Oden, healthy Greg Oden, freaking beast, and I believe Sabonis.
Arvidas.
He was, I believe, he was already kind of cooked by the time he came to the NBA. Give me a healthy Greg Oden.
Not bad.
Who'd you take at your 3?
Brandon Roy.
Oh, wow.
So-
You fucked yours up.
Why?
Yeah,
Why? Because
small
I
ball.
would have went Dame, B. Roy, Scottie Pippen, Rasheed Wallace, and then Greg Oden.
1,000%.
Or LaMarcus Aldridge and then Rasheed
But
Wallace.
LaMarcus is a better trailblazer than Rashid is.
Talking about players.
That's just how I thought
Talking
about
about
it.
players, man.
That's just how I thought about it.
Is
but
he though?
It's probably. I mean, LaMarcus was a great Timberwolves. I mean, trailblazer, bro.
So,
So is Rasheed.
He had his best years in Detroit.
Individually, no.
I might be wrong.
final product, Hakeem.
Uh-huh.
Trae Young, Kyle Korver. No, I'm sorry. This is Eddie. Trae Young, Kyle Korver, Josh Smith, Al Horford, Dominique Wilkins.
Go with that. I'm running
Hakeem, Damian Lillard, Clyde Drexler, Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Greg Oden.
with it. In fairness, you gave him a deeper fucking
Just like last
Man.
week.
a deeper fucking franchise.
I went completely random.
I'm good with my 5.
Who you
He has no answer for Dominique. By the
does
way,
not.
I don't have an answer for you guys. You don't have an answer.
You don't have an answer for Dame.
for
You don't-
Dame,
You
Dame ain't the scorer Dominique is.
I think
Who's
my
guarding
team,
him?
man.
Who's gonna guard Dame? Trae Young.
Who's gonna guard Dominique?
Who's gonna?
I mean,
He's a
Who-
30-point per game scorer.
Who's Kyle Kober gonna guard?
Nobody. But he's gonna give me 3-4 threes a game, and
All right.
you're gonna need to guard that.
What do you think is better? You're the judge.
No, your team. I'm gonna give you your nod. I'm gonna give the nod to your team. Your team is better.
I respect that, man. I respect that.
Yeah,
You're dealing with a deeper franchise, but it doesn't matter. It's okay.
yeah.
Okay, just like last week when he gave you all those prestigious
Friend of mine.
franchises and he gave me freaking Hornets and
Prestigious.
Got one more game.
let's go, coach.
Love
This
it.
is you guys are
He's
gonna
way
do
better at this than you are.
You're gonna do this together.
Oh.
You're gonna name this NBA starting five based off their averages for that current year.
Oh wow.
Yes. So at the 1, average 25.3 points, 6.6 assists, 4.5 rebounds.
Okay.
The one.
Really
one.
good point guard.
At the 2, 22.3 points, 2.1 assists, 3.7 rebounds. At the 3, 25.1 points, 4.8 assists, 8.3 rebounds. At the 4, 10.2 points, 7.0 assists,
I know who
7.9 rebounds.
Is it Brooklyn Nets?
And at the center, 6.1 points, 1.9 assists, and 5.9 rebounds.
Golden State.
Of the 2016-2017 season. That was a pretty easy one.
Man.
Yeah, I know. It was an easy one because he was gonna know. I was trying to dig deeper.
You didn't
Stats
dig,
is my thing, man.
you didn't
Stats
dig,
is your thing.
Statistics are my thing.
you didn't dig deep enough, my dog.
I mean, I can get you guys right now. Quick.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm pulling.
Take the L on this one.
I'm pulling.
We
Take
got
the
you.
L.
I'm pulling.
Producer, games wise, how do we look after week
I
2?
think you know, man, you guys are putting up a better battle than the Thunder and the Pacers are. I tell
It's
you
a
that.
close game.
You
Come
guys
on,
are more
man.
entertaining than these guys are.
Come on, it's a close game. It's a
You guys
close
are fighting for the face of the pod right now. I don't know who the face is right now.
I love it.
Alrighty, boys. I think we're done with all of our games.
With basketball, we are.
Sure are.
Say basketball is
Time
my favorite
to-
sport.
Flip over to NFL.
Flip the switch.
Flip the switch.
I just flipped the switch.
Probably about what?
Flip.
90 days away?
Something like that.
So we're getting there. We're
Man,
getting
it feels like 400. I wanted to come
Yeah.
already.
We'll be there. We'll get there. All right, I got 2 things for you guys. All America.
I cannot wait.
All America wants
Life
to
in
hit
3
it.
months. We're about 90 days out.
Yep. J-Dub.
We're about
Wow.
90 days out.
All right, J-Dub with the bag. This guy is... All right.
He made it. Yeah.
2 things for NFL football. First thing I want to start off with Mr. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I think the obvious finally happened. He signed with the Steelers. Married man.
Fucking drama queen.
Swade's favorite
Favorite player. Loves him. We had an intense conversation
One of
about
our
ARod here.
first 20 episodes. This man.
Remember when you called him a leader,
Called him a
leader of
leader.
men? Remember that?
Fucking bum.
Hey,
Okay.
let's not call people bums
Not
now.
a bum.
He's closer to being a bum than he's a leader. I'll tell you that. Oh, you want to do that? I'll do that right back at you. I'll do that right back at
Listen,
you.
I don't know what type of leader he is. My guy's not a good one.
He's
but
not a great leader.
I don't know.
man. He's not a great
Anyways,
leader.
Alrighty. Aaron Rodgers
Yes.
on the Steelers. How many games do the Steelers win this year?
10 games, AFC wildcard division, AFC wildcard game, lost in the first game of the playoffs. That's what will happen. 10-7, lost in the AFC wildcard game.
I'll go just notch up above 500. We'll go what? 9-8. We'll go 9-8.
You think you got him
And
in the playoffs?
they'll just miss the playoffs because I believe the Bengals are going to be good, really good this year, and Baltimore's going to be really good this year. So I don't think they're going to snap the playoffs. They're not going to win their division at all. Not even close. I'm sorry, the Steelers, man. I love Ink, but I don't think it can happen. That's just my opinion.
In his heart of hearts, he knows it's not going to happen.
Who? He does.
In his
He
heart.
just has just so much
He's a fan.
potential. He's a
That's
he's
what
a
he's
big fan.
supposed to do.
He's a big fan. They lost Pickens, but they got DK. Oh, I believe DK is better. But I don't know if Aaron Rodgers can do. Yeah, he's better.
What?
DK is better than
They play the same.
I think
they
they're
play
the
a lot
same
of
guy.
They're the same guy. Yeah,
I
but
think
DK
they're
has the
the same
upper edge.
I think both of them together would have been nice. I think losing one and replacing him, I don't know like how much.
Yeah,
You know?
just handed Dak Prescott the MVP trophy this year. Kind of crazy.
I think I'll go. I think the Steelers will win 9 to 10 games this year.
One more thing. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Sure.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin are gonna mesh either. Mesh really well.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I think Mike Tomlin doesn't take shit from anybody, and I think ARod knows that. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna mess with Tomlin.
I
That's
don't-
just my.
I don't know.
That's just the way I look at it. Because guys, Robert Saleh isn't Mike Tomlin.
No, he's
Of course not.
You know what I
Not
mean?
even in the same atmosphere.
Mike McCarthy isn't Mike Tomlin.
And I know they're different personalities too.
Green
but,
Bay,
but
Mike
Tomlin
McCar-
has dealt with all-time great
Right.
QB personalities.
Green Bay and Mike McCarthy was
we're
up
talking
there. You gotta
about
give him
as
some
the-
respect.
I'm not talking about the coaching. There we
Wow.
go. There we go. It's about time.
I need him for 30.
I'm not talking about the coaching, what they are, comparable and stuff like that. I'm talking about as personalities, as men,
Yes.
as like respect.
Yes.
And none of those guys have the respect and the personality that Mike Tom. ARod,
we don't even all that. We don't.
yeah, ARod ain't gonna mess with them.
What happens behind the scenes and
yeah, I think ARod is gonna win. I think ARod's gonna the Steelers will win like 9 or 10 games this year.
Yeah, and that's
if he stays healthy throughout the whole year.
that's what they've done.
You know, I think we're giving this a lot more attention. This is more of a nostalgia signing than it is anything because it's just ARod and a Steelers. But the last 40-year-old to do good was Tom Brady, and even towards the end of Tom Brady was.
But he could even have a decent season.
He could have a decent season.
He will. He will.
He will have a decent season.
And he had a decent season last year, but those like garbage time stats. So,
Alrighty. Last thing. Which NFL QBs do you guys think has the most to prove
Let me
in this incoming season?
Aaron Rodgers.
Say it again. Say it
No,
again.
fuck with you.
Say it again. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Which NFL QB do you guys think has the most to prove in this upcoming season?
At the bottom.
He's gonna say Brock Purdy.
I have 3 guys, but the first 2 guys are a combination. I'm taking them 2 and I'm putting them into 1. And those 2 that I'm putting into 1 are Josh and Lamar. It's, we're getting on to 7, 8, 9 years into the league now. It's time to win a Super Bowl. If it's going to happen, it has to happen very soon. It's time to prove that you belong in the same breath as Patrick Mahomes because we know the talent is there, but the winning is missing. I don't care which one of them do it. I just want to see one of them do it this year.
Yes.
Either or. My second one is interesting. My second one isn't a knock on this guy, and it's not like I'm ready to write him off if he doesn't do it, but it's Caleb Williams to me. And when I say Caleb, I don't mean go win the Super Bowl. I mean don't go 7-9 again or 8-8, whatever they went, and let your metrics not stay the same year over year. I want to see some improvement and get your team to the playoffs, and then all hands are off because now we can finally say, based on their signings on the offseason, based on their draft, based on who they signed as a head coach, they're putting him, it looks like, in a good situation. So he's not going to have a bad situation to rely on now to say this is its fault. So my second guy is Caleb Williams because if we walk away and he has the same year he had last year and the Bears are not any better with Ben Johnson at the helm and with the revamped roster in Chicago, we're going to start looking at that Caleb Williams pick as a fucking disaster if Jaden Daniels does the same shit he did last year. So my actual guy is Caleb Williams. But the first 2, they need to win a Super Bowl this year. One of them does.
I don't disagree with the thing you said, Swade.
I don't disagree with that at all. My guy is Lamar Jackson. Yeah, like Eddie was saying, Lamar needs to get out. He needs to make a Super Bowl in order to stay. He'll always be an elite quarterback, but he needs to stay in those conversations with Patty Mahomes, and even with a guy like Josh. Lamar Jackson has so much to prove this year, and I think this can be his year to prove it. He's gotten over all these bad years. He has to get them out the way, brush them off, put him in the rear view, and move on, man. Lamar Jackson is my guy. He has a lot to prove this year.
I mean, when the first thing that when you talk about proving, the guy that came to the mind was Lamar Jackson, and not even in particularly because I think he's a choker or anything like that, but for a guy like Lamar Jackson, who is an MVP, who constantly puts up the best metrics in the league, I hate that every year that we say but the playoffs, and especially because I think when I think of the AFC, I don't think there's a big dog in the AFC. I think when you look at the Buffalo Bills, you look at the Chiefs, and you look at the Ravens, I think they're all comparable teams across the mark. There's no team that you could look at and be like, but they're just so much better.
Absolutely.
Right? So it goes to Lamar Jackson because I just hate having to always say, but the playoffs because like that's just, I feel like that's all we talk about with a guy like Lamar Jackson.
I mean, because that's all he's missing.
You know,
it's a playoff.
So and he has to do it. And there's no other person that really comes to mind. And the same goes for Josh. The only reason I don't have Josh as much as Lamar's because like
he's played well in the playoffs before.
He's played very well in the playoffs before. Or like some people argue he's the second best quarterback in the league and sometimes the best, right? And the metrics are comparable with whoever you want to compare him with. So like that's just really what it comes down to.
I don't mind you.
For me, I Super Bowl. I want to see him just get past the big game of the AFC Championship.
But Josh right now, unfortunately, is owned by someone. And that ownership goes to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Absolutely.
4 times now.
Absolutely.
And he's been outplayed by Patrick Mahomes 4 times
Absolutely.
in the playoffs in those games. So both of them need it. Both of them need it. Yeah. Both of them need to. Because if their careers stop now, and they went up for the Hall of Fame, Lamar Jackson is going to get more votes than Josh Allen.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm saying both of them need to win it. One of the dark horses, Joe Burrow, don't fuck around and miss the playoffs again, bro. Because I will not let up.
Yeah.
And I'm putting him out of my 4 if he does.
Of course not.
I am putting him out of my 4 if he misses the playoffs, bro. And I don't care how he misses it.
Another guy, Dak.
Dak is him, bro.
definitely prove it year.
I mean, he's. I mean, other than MVPs, what's the difference between him and Lamar Jackson?
A lot. But I mean, you know, like someone like Dak, bro, like where
Talking
I
about regular
I
season.
don't see them as the elites of the elite. What's he really gonna prove to me? You know what's crazy? If he won a Super Bowl this year, I would still walk in and say those 3 guys are better than him. Even if he won a Super Bowl this year. When I heard this question, I'm talking about like if we're gonna go winning, it has to be guys that winning would actually do something for them.
Yeah.
You know
Lamar
what I mean?
Jackson came to my mind.
Lamar,
Right,
yeah.
Right off.
Lamar,
Right
right
off
away.
the
Because
bat.
if he wins one now, we're talking all-time great territory. That's why. Like if you look at his MVPs, his
Lamar
championship,
came to me because it's just
That's the only quarterback that
he
can.
needs
there's an obvious gap in his career, which is playoff performance.
Wallah. Honestly, that's the only quarterback that came to mind.
Yeah.
Lamar did. Lamar.
And honestly, I hope I see it. If it's
Well,
not the
It
Lions-
depends on how it happens. Like if Josh loses again to Pat in the playoffs, this is now.
I would still say though, Hadi, there's no shame.
There's shame at 5 times in a row. There's
Oh, let me finish my
And
point.
last year,
There's
was
no
literally one
shame
play.
of running into the GOAT of your generation and losing, especially when you play well in the games.
there's shame when
Right.
it's 5 times in a row, bro.
It's just really not though. Not in my opinion.
You're just doing
No,
something wrong.
Yeah, no, there's shame, and these scores are close, guys.
Because how many AFC
they're not
championships has
blowouts,
Josh
bro.
have gone
3,
to?
4.
4.
Or like, I think that if today NFL ended, yeah, the metrics they'll sway towards Lamar, but people will point to the playoffs, and they will say, Josh performed.
Unfortunately, that only happens 5 years after. 15, 20 years down the line, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, but it
about
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
No,
doesn't.
no, I'm
matter
talking
anymore
about
at that
like
point.
today. If everything stopped and nothing happened, and their careers both ended.
I'm still taking Lamar.
Most
I
people are
will,
gonna
but
say
what are
that.
people going to say?
About the playoffs?
They're going to point directly to the
For
playoffs.
2 years?
But you
but
could
then-
say the
but
same
then 10
thing
years
for,
later,
for,
they're
for
not.
Josh. Like, what have you done?
No, I know that, but if we compare who's done more in the playoffs,
Right now, if you look at their careers,
They're eerie similar.
But Lamar has a
Guys,
nod because of MVPs. He has a nod.
thousand-
Oh, yeah,
because they haven't done
1,000%.
anything.
No,
If we're
guys,
going
I'm
just
telling
off
Guys, can we
stats,
be real about it?
Yeah.
None of them have done anything. Sure,
That's
Josh
what I'm
plays
trying to
better in
say.
the playoffs.
That's
but
what-
they
that's all.
haven't done
Exactly.
anything.
That's
bro.
all, and they still
Exactly.
lose. Even if he plays better,
Yeah.
plays worse, he still loses.
And he's owned.
1,000%.
Guys, he's owned, bro. Like these guys, these scores are close.
Here's what's going
In
to
those games, in those playoffs, go look at those scores
Here's
out
what's
of the Chiefs
gonna-
and Bills. They're close.
Here's
bro.
what's going to happen, guys. Eventually, the Chiefs are. I mean, I just don't believe that the Chiefs are going to be able to make another Super Bowl. Like, would that be 5 straight times? Math and history just tells me that just doesn't happen. I don't think anybody has gone to 5 straight Super Bowls, right? It has to be one of them to take it. It just has to be.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And again, there's no team out there that's better than the other. I think they're all pretty similar teams. There's no super team. Like I think in the NFC, the Eagles have
A super team.
like a super team, if we wanted to say. Like they have the clear-cut best roster in the NFC. They just do. They do. They have the best offensive line. They have a top 10 quarterback. Some argue the top 5. They have the best running back in the league. They have a top 5 wide receiver. They probably have the second. They had probably the best second wide receiver.
Great O-line.
Great O-line. One of the best defensive.
Probably the best now with Ragnar retired.
Really great defense.
Yeah.
Like that's a super team. Like none of the AFC teams have that nod.
Right.
So
You think the Madden curse is gonna bite Philly this year? Hopefully not. We don't wish on anybody, but do you think it'll bite them?
no, but in football it's just hard to go back to back.
Right, especially as a running back with that much toll on your body.
I think that the only teams that usually go to back Super Bowls and win is when you have a generational great elite all time quarterback. And no disrespect to Hurts, he's just not. Patrick Mahomes.
So the funny thing is that play, you just watched that play, right? And I was getting ready to ask the question because I seen another podcast argue about this on Instagram. They were arguing who would you rather have as a basketball player, like who's a better basketball player, just individually, Alex Caruso or TJ McConnell. They were arguing that back and forth.
Alex Caruso.
I found it. I mean, it's Caruso, but I just found it interesting.
No,
sorry,
Alex
The guy that was
Caruso.
arguing TJ was making some good points. So
George-
No,
offensively,
TJ's very underrated.
Yeah.
He's a very underrated. But
offensively, you could argue he's better than Caruso, though.
yeah, because he could actually handle the ball. But I'm gonna go with Caruso because Caruso is an elite defender. Elite.
Absolutely.
He's better all around than TJ is.
He's elite, and he actually can hit he's a good 3-point. He's a serviceable
He's decent enough.
3-point shooter. Yes.
1,000%.
All right, boys. Well, we're actually gonna go.
We're gonna go finish this game.
We're gonna finish this game. We might see. We're gonna see another Haliburton.
Honestly, bro.
What the hell?
Buzzer.
What the hell?
Are we gonna see one?
What the hell, Bird?
Episode 43 in the books, baby. We are on the path. We hit 10,000 subscribers. Hell, let's get to 20, baby. Let's get to 20,000.
so much.
Next episode is the Chuck Hayes episode.
Who?
You don't remember Chuck Hayes?
Who?
Thank you guys so much for all the support, the comments, the likes, everything. It all matters. We're nothing without you guys. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. We'll see you guys on the flip side.